Hello and welcome to Shirley Povich Field within the confines of Cabin John Regional Park. We have got one heck of a matchup, interleague play again for the last team, I believe, this season that we have not faced until we go on the road tomorrow where we play the other one. One of two remaining Metropolitan Braves, the Metro South County Braves, as they are now known. We've got a good matchup here. Big Train are 4 in a row, 4 double-digit run totals in a row. This is a hot offense facing a Metro South County team that has just wavered for the first time after winning 5 straight. They've lost 2, trying to bounce back here. I'm Carson Cass, joined in the booth with Zach Lewis. How are you, my friend?
Doing well. Excited for a matchup here tonight. We have a team that we haven't faced yet this season. It'll be exciting for these two teams to get to figure each other out a little bit. Good outing last time from the Big Train last morning as we had a 10 a.m. game here yesterday here, winning 14-3 against the Thunderbolts in a game where both sides of the ball, the pitching was really good from Sam's to start, and hitting as well, just the bats got moving, especially late, and it was a really successful outing from the Big Train.
Yeah, and you're always looking for a team to do well pitching and as well hitting, and defensively was kind of the issue, I think, the whole way around. Big Train had 4 errors last night. And you can't let that happen against a team like Metro South County who's hit that well, Zach, and all around we'll have to see what they can put up together to play in this Braves County.
Yeah, we'll take a look at the defense for the Big Train. Starting on the mound is pitcher Soler. First base, we have Gonzalez. Second base, Bonaris. Shortstop is Machado. Third base, Cal Johnson. In the field, we have right. Center field is Mirza. Right field, Foscolo. Sorry, Brendan Wright is playing left. Our DH tonight is Ponnet, and the catcher is TJ Gramisty. Who are they lining up against, Carson?
On the other side, they play obviously the South County lineup, which has just been potent this season altogether. And you know what? I straight up closed my scorebook, so I'm going to open it very quickly. But it's a lineup that is hitting third in average, just about. As they will line up here from the top to the bottom. I'm going to be so honest, I really did not have this scorebook open. This is not quite a disaster, but just about as close as you can get to it, folks. Leading off is going to be Christopher Crease Jr., the second baseman, led off by Nadir Mocklin at the DH spot. Colin Lott will trail him. Cleanup will be Alejandro Vasquez. Robert Kelly behind him. Aiden Albright will play center at 6th in the lineup. Connor Clark making his season debut behind the dish. Connor Swiskowski will be at that right field position with Caden Behan behind him in the other corner at the bottom of this lineup. But we approach here towards that national anthem. We'll take a brief break to give them some space, and we'll be right back with the starting pitcher for these Big Train here as we jump in a few moments here to the game. Welcome back to Shirley Povich Field. Man on the mound today is Alan Soler. Out of Sunset, Florida, he plays from the University of Central Florida. For the Knights last season, did not do any play time there, redshirt, but already has a start in this season. He got the win against Olney in 3 innings pitched, 2 hits only allowed, and a single earned run on 3 walks and 2 strikeouts. He was masterful all the way at First Responder Park.
Yeah, and Soler, a big product out of Florida, ranked the number 3 left-handed pitcher out of high school in the state of Florida. His MLB favorite player, interestingly, is Chris Sale, another lefty. So a big pickup for the big train here, playing at UCF. Did not play last year. Did redshirt there. So using this experience and hoping to go back and make more impact at Florida there.
For the young Knight, he will tail and start this lineup off against Christopher Crease. No batting gloves, yes, batting gloves, just beige batting gloves. A bat from the right-handed side. He's not a switch hitter. He previously was, interestingly. He gave up on it. For Metro South County, he's done a fantastic job this season. Average at about 400. Played at Stevens Tech the year previous. Now the second pitch from Soler, down low. 2-0 count. Chris's nickname by his coach, Tap, at Stevens Tech, which is in Hoboken, New Jersey, is Chip. And Chip has done a fantastic job, according to him. Last season was a very talented player, one of the best in the entire likes of Division III. Had a 339 average, 393 average there with a 520 OBP. Earned recognition on the national level. 2-1 is high, and count will go to 3-1.
Big Train, lots of games on. As this is a rain-out game from last Wednesday. The Braves are supposed to come here. We are now playing on the Monday. Normally the Big Train off days, so rotation and will be important for this Big Train as that ball is too far on the outside and Soler walks his first batter.
Soler walks Crease Jr. That will bring up the likes of Nadiv Mocklin, excuse me. Mocklin, born in Beirut, Israel, and is a Paris Junior College now in his first year there, going into his second. Had a 1,000 OPS with the Dragons. Good year for them as that one's just on the inside portion of the zone. Good paint there from Soler, who did a very good job. Very disciplined hitters in Olney, but made sure they were kind of forced to as Soler goes about the pickoff attempt. Very close off the glove of Gonzalez to tagging him.
Yeah, you mentioned Soler against Olney. Was effective in that matchup. I mean, kind of the start of that Olney match of what has been some really good pitching in the last couple of games for the Big Train.
Goes for the big off again. This time, creases the wiser. Dives back. A lot closer as Soler coming to set now. His father played 1 year in the major leagues as a Cuban league pitcher. Oh, ground ball left side, and it's going to get through that 5.5 cap. A base hit off the bat of Mocklin to move the runner over and get a good start scoring position. These Braves have been great on offense and pretty much showing it very early. Soler already in a jam.
Yeah, and the Braves takes his 1 walk and 1 base hit, and you have 2 runners on and 1 scoring position. These bats can be really effective, and you have to be careful to not let the damage happen early against this team.
Father Alay for Soler on the mound had a decade of professional career, one of which for the Mets. Bunt attempt, left side. It's going to go foul as Johnson's able to pick it up at third. It's Colin Lott in today. Not a tap part of this order of the bruising lineup. Lott traditionally from Northern State. Spent a first season there in South Dakota at the D3 program. Actually just committed to Western Michigan, so he'll be a Bronco next season in the MAC, the only MAC now, as the MAAC has rebranded. He'll try and bunt again. Gonzalez is the wiser. Over to first as Bonaris plays some good first base from second as he covers. A first out there on the throw from Gonzalez, which was bounced in.
Yeah, a little bit of a tough one for Bonaris, who slid all the way over from the second base spot. Gonzalez giving him a hopper, but doing well there and gets the batter out, but does move runners over to second and third for the Braves.
He'll go down as a sacrifice bunt, bringing up the cleanup in this lineup. Alejandro Vasquez, who he himself has been very good this season. Through 8 games, a .444 average, 44 OBP, 481 slug. Is a double. The previous matchup's got 12 hits on the year, looking for his 13th or a walk to keep things moving. That first pitch in there from Soler. One runners on third and second. Both a lot of steals is into the air, center field off the bat of Vasquez. Mirza settling under it. Runner will go at third. He's going to try and get the runner going to third, though, and will hit him on the way, stopping the momentum of the ball. So a runner comes across on the sac fly. Vasquez, a good piece of hitting.
Yeah, I mean, Vasquez stepping up with only one out needed to do one thing, which is if he was going to hit the ball, hit it deep enough that he could get a runner in.
Braves up 1-0. Excuse me.
Mirza, interesting, electing to go to third there and trying to get that runner out in the third out, but the tag just a little too late to get the runner there.
He would have had him. I think he caught the legs of Macklin, excuse me, going over to third as he was running in, sliding, and it just kind of dribbled under the glove of Johnson, who's playing third for the first time this season. Up to bat for this Metro South County squad is the likes of Robert Kelly. He's wearing 46 tonight. Normally wears 18 if you're looking for him in the roster. Line drive right field foul. Robert Kelly at Monmouth University in New Jersey. After his teammate who plays from New Jersey, Hoboken, and Stevens Tech just was driven in. He's from Lawrence Township, a New Jersey native. 1-1 in there. Good pitch again from Soler, whose off speeds have been pretty deadly this season. He's a psychology major at the dish, so 1-2. Looking at the head of the catcher and the pitcher. He's expecting something maybe a little bit wasteful as he gets a curveball that gets down. Soler going to collect it. Can't the transition from his hand to his glove. And an RBI single likely for the likes of Kelly as he will make his way and put these Braves up 2-0 on a good hit that drives in Macklin.
Well, Soler there getting to the ball in time to probably make a play over at first and end this inning, but the ball kind of slips out of his grip there and elects to not make the throw over in case of losing it on an error.
So Kelly has his 9th RBI in this young season over at first. Braves up 2-0. It'll bring up the likes of Aiden Albright, the center fielder today out of Virginia Military Institution. He fouls this one back. What you're noticing, they're kind of attacking a lot early, these Braves.
Yeah, they're not afraid to swing at the ball, and you can see that early. I mean, they want to make contact, and they want to make and put pressure on the Big Train defense, who still need to clean up a few of their defensive errors from last morning's game.
0-1, Big Train in this 4-game win streak have only allowed the other team to score first once. They have the longest win streak that was matched by Metro South County, so both of these teams have a 4-game win streak this season. Big Train looking to get that league lead as runner at first. He got him! Great pickoff attempt from Soler, and the inning is over. At bat will continue later for Albright, who only had to see one ball. We'll be right back. On the Big Train Baseball Network, it's 2-0 Braves on 2 hits. Big Train will try and answer early, bottom 1. All right, to the Big Train Baseball Network. We'll start with this defense of the Metro South County Braves. They will line up as follows. In the corners, they will have the likes of Behan and Swetsovsky in the outfield. Albright in center, Vasquez and Crease making up the middle. Mocklin and Kelly at the infield corners. Mocklin at third, Kelly at first, and Connor Clock will be behind the dish tonight, trying to make things run on time with his mound member, Gavin Elliott, who he batteries with tonight. Big Train will have a starting lineup that goes as follows.
Yeah, Bonaris will start us off in the leadoff spot. Cal Johnson after him. Brennan Wright. Logan Ponant in the fourth cleanup spot. Emilio Gonzalez, Danny Machado, TJ Gramisty, Ryan Foscolo, and tailing off the end of the lineup is Jackson Mirza.
Bonaris standing in, George Mason. So many founding fathers who have schools in this area. George Mason, player last season, had a very good season with them. A 758 OPS to mark what was a good year from leadoff. 30 stolen bases out of 38 attempts. It's pretty efficient on the base paths and ran all around George Mason's park as now 1-1 pitches in there. And likes of the mound, we'll go talk about him in just a moment, but the reigning pitcher of the week winner, Gavin Elliott, who just went 7 against Southern Maryland in this one as he misses now 2-1. He'll have a much tougher task in these Big Train.
Yeah, but earning himself one of the first quality starts we've seen in the Cal Ripken League this season. Pitched 7 innings, had 5 strikeouts. They are only allowed 2 hits, so a great outing for him last. And as that ball is inside, puts the count at 3-1 to Bonaris. But a pitcher here who could do some serious damage against the Big Train and have to be careful because the Braves can hit the ball well, so they'll need to match that. Already is shown that they are down 2 runs in the bottom of the first.
3-1. Just low, and Elliott will walk 1. He only had 2 walks in his last time out. He did a very good job so far this season. He's gotten through 2 appearances, but his last time out, his start, earned him that Pitcher of the Week moniker. He was fantastic. I mean, you don't see a guy as often as him go like that. Last Friday, he had a 7 innings pitched, 2 earned runs, 5 strikeouts, 2 hits, 2 walks, and a win over Southern Maryland to start get halfway through their streak at 4. Did a very good job there. Has a good season so far going as well with a 3.27 ERA through 11 innings pitched. Very good, and it'll bring up Cal Johnson after Bonaris's walk, however. Pickoff attempt is no good. Johnson, a switch hitter, out committed to Maryland.
Yeah, Johnson, interestingly enough, has been a big swinger of the bat, but has, with these changed lineups, has found himself outside of the lineup a couple different times in the last week. Coach Sal electing to move things around a little bit, and sometimes Johnson is the man to get dropped in that.
What got Elliott through 7 innings last time out was the ability to pound the zone for these Braves, but, has not done that so far here. That one high and outside. Gavin Elliott, lefty out of Marymount, the D2 college in Virginia, not Marymount. It was a D1 Marymount, but I can't really remember anything about it or where it is. Feels like a New York school. 3-0, I should know that. That's where I go to school. Elliott, a 5'11", 195 standing lefty, as the southpaw will try and navigate a 3-0 count. If he does walk him, it'll match his total of his last outing in the second batter. Here comes the 3-0. That one is in there for strike 1.
Well, I do know a Marymount school in New York, but they do not have any athletics. Marymount Manhattan campus there in the middle of Manhattan, mostly an arts and school there.
Not what I was thinking, but the more you know. 3-1 is waved under, and Elliott working his way back into this count. Now full as a changeup. Got Johnson swinging out of his shoes, who's been a bit cold lately. Was the hot batter to start the year. Has kind of tailed off, averages 208, but he's been walking a bunch. Had a 5-walk game 8 days ago as he waves at that same pitch he missed earlier. He goes down waving.
Well, that bit of a strange at bat for Cal Johnson, who got himself to 3-0 in the count and thought that he'd at least earn himself a walk there, if not able to make contact on a pitch, but then goes down on 3 straight strikes there.
Just not what you're hoping for, but it'll bring up Brennan Wright into his 7th game of this season. 450 average for the pull-hitting lefty second baseman playing in left as well. That is his assignment tonight is in that left field corner, with the infield pretty packed with Bonaris and Machado, who have both been fantastic defensively. I believe one error between the two of them. And through it would be about a collective 13 games for the pair, as that's strike 1, 2 on the outside corner. Strike 1, excuse me. 2-0 Braves if you're just tuning in with us. Had a good inning, had a good top where the first two batters got on and then followed through with help from their teammates, a sac fly and a RBI single, infield single. Kind of served as a swinging bunt, got them home. 1-1 the count as Wright watched outside. Wright lines this one up the middle. It'll get over the second base bag as runners now on first and second. A good piece of hitting for the South Alabama Jaguar.
Yeah, Brendan Wright doing a good job there, making contact and doing so with enough force to take it into the outfield. Puts runners on first and second. Bonaris, a dangerous base runner over there at second, could very easily find himself over to third with a base stolen.
That's his 10th hit of the young season for the man over at first now with that single. Bonaris will be advanced to second, obviously, as nobody got too much further than that. It'll bring up the likes of Logan Panette, whose bat has been a little colder than his brief hot streak a few games ago. Has been good nonetheless. Last time out did have a couple hits.
Carson, you know, what we haven't really talked about too much is this Big Train team didn't start off the season too well, as Panette takes a big wave at that one for strike 2. They, you know, didn't have a full staff, was still getting people back and everything, but have done a really good job, not just bouncing back and breaking even, but now they're in a winning record and a good stride right now.
Well, not to mention they're technically the best team in the league at 5-3. They've played one less game, but have the highest winning percentage at 625 or 62.5. As Bonaris goes from second, catcher clock will go throw over to third. It's way wide. Mocklin has to move over to get it, and a stolen base for the likes of the leadoff man tonight. He has had a very good season in that category. That was third, and it'll be his 5th in 3 nights.
Well, as I mentioned, that's just kind of what he's in there to do, especially in that leadoff spot. There's a pickoff attempt down to first that is unsuccessful. He's in there to run, and he's in there to create uncomfortable situations for the pitcher. Him now being at third changes the way that the pitching for the Braves will be.
That's why Sal has a lot of that, as the wild pitch will advance a runner to second on the 2-2. Now, as no movement over there from Bonaris at third. Bonaris, that's his 6th stolen base over there, by the way, at third. He leads this team, now tied for second in the entire league. 2-2. Big Train trying to get their 5th win, trying to break open a game they're already down 2-0 in, and he waves at that one. Panette down on strike, 2nd strikeout for Elliott on the mound. Emilio Gonzalez will be drawn up. The lefty slugger, a lot of power in his bat, reigning Triple Crown and most outstanding hitter, comes into this one with runners in both scoring positions. In there for strike 1 from Elliott, who's just seemed very hard to hit today.
Yeah, just been a little bit uncomfortable for everyone kind of in the batter's box. Those balls that you don't really think are going to find the zone seem to be really finding the zone early for him.
0-1. And that one outside, he's kind of seemed unhittable for those 2 strikeouts. Neither batter, who one went down in 6, the other went down in 5, made contact with a pitch. He's trying to give these Braves a win after losing 2 straight. 1-1. Big wave at that one, and he goes down to 1-2 at the dish. Notably, the start of their win streak was with Elliott in relief, where he saw 4 innings. The end of it was the last win they had was his last start. 1-2.
This one in the air to center field. Gonzalez, a fly ball out there. Chasing under it is Albright. He will settle, and the big train will strand two. A good piece of hitting from the Braves as they continue their defensive and pitching prowess. We'll be right back in the top half of the second inning as they try and add on to a 2-0 lead here on the Big Train Baseball Network. Welcome back to the Big Train Baseball Network. Solera will turn to the mound after giving 2 runs up the first inning, and Albright will also have his second chance to bat. He saw one pitch before a fantastic pickoff move from Solera. Caught the likes of Robert Kelly at first, sleeping.
Yeah, Soler maybe needing a second to just warm up into this one. Hasn't pitched since last Tuesday, I believe, at only. And so he maybe just wasn't quite in rhythm yet. And so once he got into it, was able to make some good plays, including that pickoff attempt that ended the inning. So looking to get ahead early in these at-bats and these outs in this inning.
Orlando native misses on the first pitch. Big Train pitching, definitely a theme of struggling in starts. I've been a little bit better recently with the likes of Dolby and Sams in the last 2 games, putting in big work. Sams actually won player of the game yesterday. Big for him because that if he gets another start this week, or on Saturday, if he gets another start this week, it counts as this week's pitcher of the week potentially. Ground ball over to shortstop. Machado collects the easy out, for him at least, because that was a very athletic play from the shortstop.
Yeah, Machado been really solid in there all season for the Big Train and has been really accurate with his throws and a lot of power in them too as well. So it's been nice to have his arm there covering the spot for the Big Train.
Machado, no errors on this season. Actually, no errors for this pair up the middle the entire year for Bonaris or Machado, so been very efficient there. First pitch next now to the batter, Connor Clock. Clock catching in position instead of Lott. Lott is the normal catcher, at least so far this season. He'll have his legs rested a little bit at third base in the hot corner as Connor Clock gets his 6th appearance of the year. 1-0 in there for strike 2 from Soler. One's the count as Soler comes set again. Clock trying to find his way on. Has not hit exactly as he's been hoping with a .222 average. One's ground ball. Bonaris will come up with the second out of the inning as Gonzalez brings it in.
Well, and that's exactly what Soler needed in this one, using his momentum from his outs in the previous one. Braves still making a little bit of contact, but not able to get anything with too much speed off their bat so far. Soler putting it in good places and good momentum building for him on his first 2 outs in the top of the second.
Trying to retire more and more after giving up 2 runs into that first inning. Fantastic all around from the Braves, who did a very good job all season hitting with runners in scoring position, getting walks, just finding a way to keep the line moving, and they've done just that. efficiency, kind of the name of the game. It'll bring up the first pitch now, missed to Joey Swakowski. Swakowski hitting at Maryville, last season. Maryville is the college in New York. That's where Marymount was coming from in my head. It was Maryville.
I see.
He's at a Haymarket, Virginia in Battlefield College, which I would guess is aptly named for the state and its history. 2-0. Ground ball left side, collected by the likes of Johnson, who double clutches and his throw is late. Had to just make sure his feet were set. Another 2 steps, and that gives it a little bit of room for Swakowski, who's able to get over to first. Good hit from him in his first at-bat of this young season. And Haymarket, Virginia native is on in first base. Third base runner tonight for Metro South County, or fourth. One got caught. In 2 innings for Soler. Did not see more than that traffic the entire game last time out as he hits the next batter immediately, Caden Behan. Fastball runs inside, catches the knee of Behan. Ouch.
Yeah, painful one for him there, and Soler needs to be careful not to lose his momentum from his first 2 outs in this inning.
2 retired, brings the top of the lineup back up, and it's Crease, kind of not a guy you want to see in this spot. He's been very good all year. Average over 400. That puts him right in the contending spot for the top averages in the league. He's actually tied with his teammate Vasquez for 4th in that department at 444. Technically still the same as he walked and scored his last time up. That pitch missing from Soler.
Crease from this area, from the area around South County in Alexandria, Virginia, playing his college ball at the Stevens Tech Ducks. Has a 349 average there, so big hitter for the Ducks.
Stevens Tech in Hoboken, New Jersey. It's actually got a view of, I think, Newark. I think that's how you say it. There's Newark, Delaware, which a lot of New Jerseyans are familiar with. A lot of that school is made up of New Jersey natives. Our own producer, Becca, goes to Delaware. 2-0. Soler with runners at first and second. Good pitch. He finally marks the strike zone against Crease. Crease to that baby blue top portion of the bat. Pretty moniker you see in the MLB a lot in Father's Day coming up. 2-1, turning to 2-2 as he waves at that one.
Good pitch there from Soler. Comes towards the inside of the zone. Makes it hard to swing at for Crease Jr. there. And Soler has an opportunity to get himself a strikeout.
That one high. And something pretty notable. Crease went to high school at Market High School in Virginia. He was named the National Honor Society for Arts and Letters. Got a certificate of merit from there. He played the trombone in high school, and he's an engineering major there. Full count. Payoff pitch. This one skied in the air to the left. It's a pop-up. Johnson and Machado will negotiate it. They'll give Machado the argument, and they strand 2 to answer the 2 stranded by them, and we'll get a second shot at breaking this 2-0 lead for the Big Train. On the Big Train Baseball Network, the Braves lead 2-0.
Welcome back to this thing. Still on the mound for the likes of these Braves is Gavin Elliott. Talk a little bit about how his game went earlier. You're seeing those stats on your left. Got the win in a good matchup against Southern Maryland, where he earned Pitcher of the Week for the only quality start so far of any pitcher in the Cal Ripken Senior League at 7 innings pitched, 2 hits given up, a quality start if you were curious. I know it is a stat that kind of eludes a lot of baseball fans. 6 innings pitched, 3 earned runs. It's kind of getting more common, but I remember as a kid, I didn't know at all what it was. Switch hitter Machado in. He'll bat from the right side against Elliott. First time up against him as he bats 6th in this lineup, lowest he's bat all year.
Well, the Big Train batters couldn't really figure Elliott out in that first inning, not really getting the timing of his pitches, and most people either ahead or behind, not making a lot of contact in that first inning.
Just outside, and 2-0 now for Machado. Machado out of Pembroke Pines, Florida, FAU. Product. Going into his senior season there, I believe academically, maybe junior. As this one skied in the air off Machado's bat, blue territory, as it will be collected by Albright, the center fielder. He'll start himself with an out and will continue. But it's just been a good outing of pitching already from Elliott. It's already struck 2. As Johnson and Panett both made no contact in the 11 pitches collectively they saw together. Both of them went down on strikes. Swinging. That brings up Cal Johnson, TJ Gramesty, who uses the same color bat as Cal Johnson now. They've been switching it around as they broke. As 1-0 now with a missed pitch from Elliott. Gramesty in his 3rd day of work after the quick turnaround yesterday. Got a good evening break and morning break for him, as he's the only catcher I think available tonight.
Yeah, Parker Corbin started Sunday's game yesterday and was struck by a pitch to, I believe, the finger, and he is still working through that injury, so we only have Gramesty as available for a catcher tonight.
Corbin also out of town in the transfer portal. So he actually got a laceration on his finger, got stitches, and he's going around to continue his baseball career. As 3-1 now the count as Gramesty watches the 3-0 go by him on the outside portion of the plate.
You know, something I've liked out of Elliott so far is that he sometimes gets himself behind, but there's no sort of rush in his movement as that one is fouled up back. And he really just stays calm and consistent with his timing, even if he's lost a couple pitches in the at-bat. And it's made it easy for him to either strike out the player or for them to not get very good contact, even if they get up in the count.
Yeah, second batter he's gotten back in after a 3-0 count. He's only walked 1 as ground ball left side off the chest of Mocklin, and not the start he was hoping for today. Bounces off his chest. It's his 2nd game this season, and not what he was going for. Just kind of no weird bounce or anything. Went up his arm, kind of got through the glove. It acted as a ramp almost, and that's an error on him. So Gramesty will reach on an error. Eats up the hot corner as it'll bring the likes of Foscolo to the dish. He homered yesterday. A line drive that got out of here in a hurry over the Gregorio side. 3-run homer.
Yeah, it was a great hit by Foscolo. Continuing the trend this weekend of Big Train players hitting it over our fence finally.
1-0 missed high on the off speed from Elliott, who efficiency was kind of how he got through that 7 innings. Hasn't been as efficient as maybe you'd be hoping for if you're looking to see him go that long today. Obviously, every start can't be a gem. This one he's doing just fine, though. Pretty good outing already. 2-0, now 2-1 as he catches the outside corner. In terms of efficiency as well, it's not too big of an issue. He's in the 2nd inning, and that was his 33rd pitch right there.
Well, and the way you make it to the 7th inning in a quality start like that is you have to be effective in the pitches that you throw, and Elliott was able to do that.
Runner goes as Gramesty is not caught stealing, so
Clock behind the dish today, 0-2, trying to catch the runner on throws, as Gramsci will celebrate as the second stolen base of the night for these Big Train, who have just been using that to their advantage so far this year.
They've been effective quite a few times where they get a runner in scoring position and it ends up really making an impact as they're able to drive in a run from that. So stolen bases continues to be a big piece of the Big Train game this season.
5th of the year for Gramsci, who hasn't got many hits as Foscolo goes down on strikes, looking. Couldn't believe it. Low change and certainly got a few bucks out of that one. Good pitch from Elliott as it just kind of caught that front portion of the plate and dropped through the trap door below in that strike zone. And Mirza now up with 2 outs. Runner in scoring position is Gramsci.
You know, Foscolo really not happy with them. By the time that pitch ended up in the back of the zone, it dropped all the way to the bottom of his feet. It hit down in the ground. So
Mirza takes a big hack at the 0-0. He this season not doing as much as he'd want to at the plate. Actually been a great pitcher. The center fielder not really expecting to go and try and pitch as a two-way player, but has done good. 0 ERA so far with the 2 appearances there. A 125 average at the dish with a 348 OBP. He's walked 6 times, but struck out as many times as he's gotten hits with 2.
as you mentioned, not many people around here expecting Mirza to be in the pitching staff, but not a single earned run so far. So I'll probably keep him around as long as he continues to be effective as that pitch kind of gets away from the catcher, but able to keep it in front of him, prevent any of the batters from moving.
Desperate times call for Mirza measures, you could say. As that one misses low, they'll give Clock the opportunity to give him some time. See how many puns I can make about that tonight, as kind of got eaten up by that one coming in the throwing hand. Luckily not a situation where it needs too much time, but the umpire always will give those catchers who take a hard pitch, hard foul ball, a few moments to collect themselves and make sure everything's all right. Elliott from the left side trying to get out of this technical jam with a runner in second base. Not quite as bad as some we've seen earlier. 2-1. Trying to strand his third runner in the second inning. Mirza will watch one, goes high and outside. Mirza's father played at Miami in the University of Tampa. Tampa, the first ever program to three-peat in D2 baseball this year. As 3-2 now, as the umpire rings him up for getting the count a little bit. Just recollects the count, and he has a laugh with Sal Colangelo, the manager. Payoff pitch. Second time we've been here. Watches, and it is a walk. As the runner goes to third, as the catcher wasn't looking, and safe, a stolen base for Gramsci. Now his team leading tied with Bonnery, second of the night and 6th of the season, which is what tied Bonnery. So they'll have a brief conversation, try and rein it in here as we try to bring the infielders in to discuss the situation, whether they're going to throw to second base. Scouting report, Mirza goes a lot.
Yeah, and the catcher focused on determining whether or not that was a strike based on the swing down the line, but the first base umpire not calling it there, and just his back was turned to TJ Gramsci, who made his way from second to third. And if Bonneries can get good contact and get this one down, should be able to bring a run in for the Big Train.
That'll bring Bonneries up after Mirza reaches on the walk. See if he goes, see what they'll do. I have to guess that's what the discussion was about. First pitch, they'll be looking his way over at first. Pickoff attempt, Mirza goes. Can they even get him in time? No! He's safe and uncontested. Gramsci gets home and steals home. Mirza, so much speed, he makes his way over to second base and scores himself a run, basically.
Yeah, almost like you'd like to award Mirza an RBI for that one. Obviously you can't, but a really nice play from him. And like we mentioned before, the base running and stealing, like with TJ Gramsci getting over to third, means that the Big Train have now put a run up.
That one going to be in there for strike one. 2-1 now the score as the Big Train find themselves around the win an ugly way. They try and go for the pickoff again and will throw it anyway. You know, I never really understood that, but kind of unsure why you always throw sometimes when you're a pitcher picking off, even if the guy isn't there. You're always less prone to a balk, I guess, but it just kind of seems like unneeded risk, and the shortstop Vasquez nearly loses it there.
Yeah, I think often for pitchers it's about keeping the rhythm and maybe pulling back a throw, kind of get them out of their rhythm or kind of give them a weird motion in their arm that they're not used to.
That one back, and the pickoff attempt does get him. More in tune with that shortstop, and we haven't had a pickoff catch a batter all year, and now we've had both teams do it once. So 2-1, runner not stranded as he is the one caught out. Bonnery will return to the plate in the bottom of the third, but first we'll go to the top of the third, where the Braves will try and respond after one run on no hits for Bethesda. Well, it has been a rainy one so far this year, as I think you are pretty familiar with in the D.C. metro area. Big Train had this game rained out, you mentioned previously, and it's been rainouts aplenty. 4 games across the league postponed due to rain last Thursday, and one Big Train game, this one, suspended from rain, and another one currently in suspension from light curfew. This one was technically, I guess you would say, maybe 2 on the rain front, but we're already playing it, so not suspended anymore. 16 days of games now for this Big Train squad, including tonight, to make all those up.
Yeah, so a long stretch of games, and it will be a grind. Luckily, have most of our staff and team back together, so there'll be plenty of rotation to have between these teams in the 16 straight games, but you really got to take care of yourself as a player and even as a coach in that situation. So finding out here why summer collegiate ball can sometimes be a bit of a grind, especially coming off a full college season for some of these players.
Yeah, Soler will enter now his 3rd inning of work. Through 2 he's given up 2, but only 3 hits and 1 walk as opposed to the 1 hit and 3 walks he gave up in only. Went 3 last time, so we'll see how much he can do. He's done a very good job on the mound with no runners in scoring position, but runners in scoring position, but has kind of made sure somebody's gotten on either way just about. Soler will face the second man in this lineup after Crease's pop-up ended things. Nadiv Mocklin, the designated hitter, was not playing third, it was earlier the error I credited to Mocklin. It is the likes of Lott at third. Mocklin DHing tonight. This one in the air to left. Fly ball off his bat. After it's Foscolo and Mirza. Mirza will settle under, and that'll be the first out of the inning.
Well, Foscolo doesn't have a strikeout tonight, but in this second and I guess beginning of the third here, has been able to make the contact a lot more difficult for these batters of the Braves that are very good at getting contact and making the contact a little more difficult, allowing lots more ground outs and flyouts for this Big Train defense.
Soler, the lefty southpaw, is one of 2 UCF players in this full roster. The other one a 2-way player, Zachary Malvasio.
Malvasio not included in the lineup tonight. Was played in the big train for the last 2 games.
Got his first hit last night, too.
Lott took a big wave at that one. Goes down 0-2 in the count.
Fielder's choice ground out his earlier section on a bunt. Has a bit of an interesting swing. Kind of starts with his bat there and times himself up basically to prime his swing. He'll go well on the 0-2 outside from Soler. Interested to see who will trail. Pitchers available listed tonight are the lefties Hoagland, Gagan, and Kaler. Not sure Gagan is actually available. I think Gagan played last night.
Yeah, he did. Gagan pitched in the morning for the big train yesterday, so probably not going to see him tonight.
Ground ball right side. This one will get through. Good hit for Lott. The Western Michigan commit now will have his way on for his first real at bat, his first real chance to swing, as he saw 2 pitches last time, tried to bunt on both. Rittenauer, the batter, Aaron, is also available. Curious to see if he might pinch hit in this one. But on the right-handed side, Wines, Hopper, Capuano, and Malvasio Smith as well as there. So I'd have to imagine we'll likely see Malvasio, maybe Capuano, maybe Smith. Kaiser Smith pretty good this year as runner on first. Soler more traffic. He goes from the stretch now and first pitch missing.
Yeah, sun just about to dip into the trees at Shirley Povich. Rain held off here for 2 days. Had a thunderstorm last night, but luckily another clear night here so we can play our makeup game against the Braves.
1-0 is a miss. Alejandro Vasquez at the plate out of Coral Springs, Florida. Spent his last year in Bryant. Bryant University Bulldogs. Only saw 7 games. He's the youngest of 3 triplets. Batted .400 in high school and trying to beat that mark in the Cal Ripken Senior League. Runner goes, and they got him. Another caught stealing for TJ Gramisty after one last night. Just phenomenal behind the dish he's been. Calling games, and his battery mates will really enjoy the energy he has, energy he brings. And, you know, a lot of it comes from getting some bails on those caught stealing.
Yeah, saw it early, and a big play there as it takes a lot of pressure off Soler as well.
3-0, and he'll be able to hit the strike zone. Now just a pitch away from getting out of this. Well, 2 if he was going for a strikeout, but only has to give a bad contact look.
Yeah, and Soler being successful, just finding bad contact so far, so no reason to stray from it so far.
3-1 missed high, and he walked him. That's his 3rd free pass tonight, one of which on the hit by pitch. 2nd base on balls. It'll bring up number 46 tonight, 18 regularly for those looking for his stats online. Robert Kelly, Lawrence Township native, 1 for 1 with a single that brought a run in, but was picked off, ending the inning in the first. Oh, from Soler, big hack from Kelly. It's a psych major, and I mentioned that earlier. Not a pretty common sports major we see as ump steps off. The ump at first, trying to communicate something there. Won the count, excuse me.
Well, it's interesting. I mean, once you start to read a pitcher a little bit in a game, we're in the 3rd inning, and so the Braves have seen Soler for 2 innings. Maybe you noticed somewhat that he's throwing kind of soft contact pitches and seen some bigger swings from the Braves players in the box.
At Bryant this year, saw his first opportunity to play on the Leap Day year on the 28th of February. Had his first career hit. Then Vasquez had his first career grand slam and home run the day after, 1-1. As March was a good month for him. The only one he played in for those Bryant Bulldogs. For those Monmouth Hawks.
That last pitch was fouled down into his foot by Robert Kelly, so he goes back into the box at 1-2.
Soler set
on that 1-2. A lot of pickoff attempts tonight. That one just low, loses his hat. And, you know, for Kelly at the dish, been such a dangerous hitter this year. There's 2 doubles and 10 hits total, with an average of 357. Kind of a guy you always want to have up in these situations, but for Soler, it's all about getting him out. You don't want to go to a dangerous part of the order, and you're stuck into it. So 2-2. That one missed. Try and get the third out via the throw, but TJ Gramisty's throw is a bit wide as Bonarise is forced to come up with it sideways, and count will go full. We'll go payoff.
Yeah, Gramisty saw that one with plenty of time, but the throw over to second, a little high and away, so Bonarise able to prevent any further damage from second, but not able to get the runner out there.
So with the payoff pitch, looks like it might be his last inning up if we mark his last pitch count as what his limit is around. We'll see, though. 3-2. Southpaw on the dance at that full count. That one misses inside. Runner goes to third. He'll have a uncontested stolen base as Vasquez reaches third, and Kelly reaches first on the walk.
Center fielder number 12, Aiden Albright.
Second walk in a row. Albright to the plate. He's 0 for 1. Grounded out to start last inning.
Big Tree need to be careful here. The Braves having a player over on third base, needing an out here in order to prevent further damage.
First pitch to Albright. He hits a fly ball in the infield as Bonarise is under it. Pop fly-ins this inning. Big Train strand 2, already 4 stranded at the end of the third inning for Soler. We'll be right back on the Big Train Baseball Network as the bottom of the third, Big Train will look to strike back after they scored 1 last time out, trying to erase this deficit. Welcome back to the Big Train Baseball Network. Braves will lead this one 2-1 over Bethesda. Gavin Elliott still on the mound, reigning Cal Ripken Senior League Pitcher of the Week. He's out of Marymount University. He's had already rolled through 2 innings here. It'll bring up Julius Bonarise, who had a pretty good rookie year at George Mason.
Bonarise, the last batter up in the last inning as well. The inning ended with a pickoff attempt at second base that was successful from Elliott. So Bonarise has another chance at the box here.
This season for Bonarise has been pretty good. He's the young leadoff hitter. There's a lot of opportunities at the top of this lineup. Saw one game where he appeared in that he did not have the top of the lineup, and he put down 4 hits and earned his way back up to the top. It's his 7th game here tonight, 308 average to enter as he drew his 7th walk of the season. Here, earlier, drew 28 in 181 at-bats.
last season at George Mason. 1-0 now. That one missing. He's only walked one batter on the mound today, and it was Bonneries.
Well, and Bonneries seems to be a player here who really understands his role. As the leadoff batter, he knows he needs to get on base, and so he's been really patient in the box. That one misses low and a little bit inside for him. It's a count at 3-0, but knows that not necessarily swinging is not a bad look for him, as he can get on base with walks and get himself in scoring position with his really good base stealing ability.
Turned 20 in May. He said maturity was kind of all about what he was trying to learn this summer, and being a good leadoff hitter and taking the walks when he can get them. He's only seen 9 pitches tonight, and he earns his way to first on a 4-pitch walk to start this 3rd inning. So the dreaded leadoff walk as it is. Bonneries will move to first base, and Cal Johnson will come to the dish with a runner there. He struck out his first time up. Johnson, a Maryland commit, has a lot of power in his bat. Utah Central Florida saw some of that. He had 4 over-the-wall home runs and 10 doubles for his season as a Patriot there, where he is transferring to Maryland near his with a Patriot technically teammate over at first who plays for the George Mason Patriots. Pretty apt with the 250th anniversary of America in Montgomery County as it is, as the 0-1 grounded left side. Tony Gwynn calls it the 5.5 hole, and that is where Johnson's single goes. Runner over to second, and Johnson to first. Brennan Wright brought up by a good ground ball.
Good hit there by Johnson. Good to see his bat moving again. Makes contact in just the right spot. Elliott maybe a little out of rhythm now. Puts that one pretty easily over the plate for Johnson to take a crack at. So we'll see how he regains his rhythm here with Brennan Wright, the experienced hitter, up at the plate.
Had to bring up Brennan Wright, you mentioned. He's the one of 2 Mississippi natives on this team. He's out of Starkville. 2 years at community college. This fall he'll go into his 4th year of college. And 2nd year at South Alabama. Was listed in his first year there as a 2nd team All Sun Belt. 1-0 low. Last season in the Cal Ripken Senior League, he was 1st team All Cal Ripken. Try to draw a walk to see the bases loaded, something that Panett, who is on deck, has seen a lot of this season. 2-0. Wright trying to navigate and escape as he's gotten back against a lot of hitters on 3-0 counts and such, but did not do so on Bonneries and saw a first pitch single against Johnson. Wright will watch strike one on a changeup that made its way kind of on the inside portion of the plate.
Elliott staying patient here. Trying to find his way back into the zone and just back into his rhythm in this game.
2-1. Misses low. Something pretty notable, I'd say, about Wright as a top-of-the-order contact hitter. You have him in that 3 spot where you're expecting a lot of power. What you do get is a lot of batted balls in play. Has never hit below 320 in any level of college, whether it be community college at South Alabama or here in the summer, as this one is a fly ball down the left field line, foul, and over towards the shed in the bullpen where looks like nobody is warming as Soler might draw back. No, excuse me, one warming. It's the so number 28 for this squad. A 20. 20. You don't have a 28 on the squad that pitches. 3-2. Full count is missed high, and Brennan Wright a walk to first base. Ducks on the pond for the slugging bat of Panett.
Well, this now a bit of a tricky situation for Elliott. Was not able to fight back and be successful in that count, and so he now has bases loaded and without an out here. Has to find something if he wants to get out of this without giving up the lead that the Braves won themselves in the top of the first inning.
Johnson over at second. Bonarise at third. Brandon Wright at first. Panett spent his last season at Gaston College after a redshirt season at the University of Charlotte. I guess the University of North Carolina, Charlotte. 49er there. First pitch. Swinging as Panett pops this one into right field. Under it is the second baseman, Crease. He'll get it as the runners will decide to hold. Crease knew better than to see Bonarise's. Saw through Bonarise's hard few steps off the bag.
Yeah, that hit from Panett, not quite deep enough in order to earn anyone a sacrifice RBI there. So one out there for the Braves, looking to put a couple of those together if they want to escape unscathed.
Despite going through 3 games without an RBI, as the pitch umpire having to call brief time because the music would not go off. Despite having a RBI-less 3-game streak, he's got 12 right now, leads this league. Gonzalez coming in now with bases loaded. It's 367 average this season, 457 OBP on a 467 slug. He's at 3 doubles, so his only extra base hits. Still seeking that first homer. He led the league last year with 5. This one lined in the air down left field and will go foul ultimately into the Big Train bullpen.
Well, and I think no matter what sort of streak he's on, Gonzalez not a batter you want to see in the box with loaded bases, so Elliott knows he has to be careful with the kind of pitches that he throws here.
0-2, it's a ground ball right side under the glove of Crease. Difficult play with a bouncing ball. One runner will come home, and Bonarise says Johnson will follow. Throw to third is too late. Gonzalez will advance. They'll call it an error as no RBIs for Gonzalez, but he will score. 2 runs on that hit.
Just a little too much power for the second baseman for the Braves. It bounces past him and brings 2 runs in for the Big Train, who now take the lead 3-2 in the bottom of the 3rd inning.
Bonarise and Johnson came home and brings right over to third.
It wasn't really pure contact from Gonzalez, but he does hit with enough power that often a bounce or a skip will take it through to the outfield.
It was kind of a hit directly on the ground. You can still see the mark where it bashed into that dirt in front of home plate. 1-0 to Machado, who's been struggling a little bit, hitless in his last 7 plate appearances, including the first inning. 1-0 up the middle. Gets it as they chase the runner down into a pickle, and they get right. A fielder's choice leaves Machado aboard, and very good by Elliott. He does a good job recognizing the situation there and chasing the runner at third, who was too far off. Did not hold up, was right.
Yeah, and Wright got himself in a bit of a tricky situation there. Obviously, a quick line out to the pitcher as he was off his bag. So the Braves adjusting well and getting 2 outs there. Now hoping to get out with any more runs scored as that pitch is in on the outside portion of the zone for strike 1.
Yeah, 3-2 lead for Bethesda on only 2 hits. They've been walking around and finding ways to get through. Putting the ball in play is kind of the idea. You always just want to try and do it because it can cause errors and cause other things. That's why coaches tell you to do it and tell you to try and achieve that. 1-1 the count to Gramesty.
Well, I think it's especially important to see that pitch a little high for ball 2. Especially important to kind of be scrappy and be aggressive in your base running when you do know that you have a really talented pitcher on the mound, so hits might be hard to come by.
I think you always knew Machado was going to be out on that, so for Wright, it's got to be back immediately. But, I mean, rightfully so, is saying, hey, this is a pitcher who has to make a decision. Is he going to come after me? And, you know, you don't expect a guy like Elliott to be able to run that fast. 5'11", 182. Bit wiry, but he's gotten some good stuff as he will walk Gramesty, who just
So patient at the plate. That is his 12th walk of the season, 16th if you include hit by pitch, and already conceding a lot more than he did in his appearance against Southern Maryland. And some action in their bullpen, as warming up is the likes of Gary Aarons, reliever out of Virginia Military Institution. 0-0. That one low to the likes of Foscolo, who homered yesterday. It's got a situation now, bases loaded again. Foscolo, redshirt year at Kentucky last year. Very serious guy. 1-0 misses outside. Spent last season with the Delray Beach Lightning. Same league as the man at first who played for the Boca Raton Blazers in the South Florida Collegiate Baseball League last summer.
You know, it really is a cool world of college players who want to expand and get better at that game. Is that pitch just grabs the bottom portion of the zone. 2-1 to Foscolo, but whole new world and league, especially kind of brought to light more with the Savannah Bananas, who started out in Summer Ball League and now have become quite the sensation.
High fly ball into center field as Albright will settle under it. Big Train leave 3 on, and that's now a total of 5 on the day as they get through the 3rd inning. Navigating the jams, all well done for this side of South County. We'll be right back in this top half of the 4th inning as they look to try and earn the lead back as the Big Train got it here on the Big Train Baseball Network. Next to us out of the pen as Solaire Day's end is the Concord native Terry Kaler out of Gaston College. He's had a pretty good year so far. 3 appearances, 4.1 innings pitched, a 14 ERA. That doesn't really represent the situations he's been in. Given up a lot of extra outs, a lot of errors, as over half of this team's errors have come with Kaler on.
Yeah, Kaler has good experience as a relieving pitcher with Gaston College, teammate of Logan Panett. Played in 15 games for them, had 20 strikeouts in those 15 games and 14 innings pitched. So he has experience as a reliever and has shown that so far with the Big Train as well.
Pretty similar career paths.
as both of them were at American schools, as Kaler redshirted his freshman year in 2025 with the likes of the Liberty Flames. For some reason I can't remember as, what glove? That is not a first baseman's glove that Emilio Gonzalez just brought out. No, it is. Excuse me. It's a different one. Is it? Am I crazy? Is that not seem like a infielder's glove? That is not a first baseman's glove, do you?
It doesn't really look like one to me. I think
Yep, it's not. Okay.
you seem to have opted for a glove switch here. I'm not entirely sure why.
Well, the notable part is our first baseman is, I think, using an outfielder's glove. Hey, why not? 1-0. Yeah, that's an outfield. Yeah, okay. 2-0 now the count to the batter. First batter that Kaler has seen, is the likes of Connor Clock, catcher who is 0 for 1 today on a ground out in the second inning.
Well, Kaler has not quite found the strike zone yet. 2-0 count. One is low again as well.
2-3-0 now, and something to note, I think 4 o'clock is you're always trying to do better against a lefty, and you're just going to constantly see lefties in this lineup. There's not a lot in these Metro South County roster, as that is going to be a 4-pitch walk. Clock will clear the way for Joey Swakowski, who will come in with a single to his name, was stranded eventually in that second inning, but he's done a good job this far in his first appearance of this young season.
We've had a fun time with last names in the Cal Ripken Senior League. A couple teams with some pretty awesome ones. Big fan of Turnip Seed,
Yes.
Gaithersburg Giants, and Swakowski here. Quite the last name.
So, some updates at the man at first base. Mitt broke, so we were running an outfield glove for our first baseman. Why not? 1-0 as 5 straight balls, and Gramercy will have a brief talk with his pitcher. He talked earlier to us in the season about being the therapist and the spark plug, always trying to get his pitcher's mind off what's going on. Kaler, not too big of a control issue in any previous experience. I mean, he only walked 14 batters in 14 innings. I mean, that's about 1 an inning, but it's been much higher than that this season.
Kaler maybe a little hesitant with these bats of the Braves that do have a lot of prowess this season. Once again, does not put that one in the zone. High and inside. Ball 2.
Last time out for Silver Spring Tacoma on the 7th of June. That was the 27-13 win. And that one outside. 7 straight balls now. They gave up 4 earned runs as Gonzalez's glove has been either fixed or replaced. Someone else gave him one, and he will come in and hopefully get a first baseman's glove. Yes, that is one. There over for the man at first, who luckily did not see a ball in play there.
A little more comfortable for him there, probably operating with a glove that fits his position and hand.
3-0. Trying to avoid 2 4-pitch walks is Kaler. His twin Tanner on this roster yet to pitch after recovering from an elbow injury this season.
And there we have Kaler's first strike of the game. 3-1, that one in the zone.
3-1. This one backwards as I think about usage in the usage chart. I would pretty much guess after Kaler, depending on the situation, we will see Smith or Capuano. And likely that order. Again, depending on situation, maybe Capuano first. Both of those guys, the only ones up doing plyo. This one fouled off again right side, and 3-2 is extended. Kaler working his way back into this one.
Well, and a need for being careful and precise with your rotation of pitchers when you do have so many games in a row. A big away week as well for the Big Train as they go and visit the D.C. Grays tomorrow and the Southern Maryland Senators on Thursday.
3-2.
It's a fly ball as Mirza will trail to it. Gets the first out of the inning, and Kaler recovers from 7 straight balls to get the second out of this inning. Or second batter of this inning, excuse me.
Yeah, that's really important there. Not only for the out in the situation, but for his confidence and rhythm to not go from potentially walking 2 straight batters, instead to have an out and keep somebody on first base. Good situation from him there.
Caden Behan, we didn't get to talk too much about him as he was hit by pitch immediately in his first appearance today. He'll watch strike 1. Rising freshman headed to Shenandoah University. Went to Battlefield High School. A lot of these guys on these Braves have been to the same high school or went to the same high school. Out of Lorton, Virginia. He's a very big batter, kind of hunches in the box. 6'3", 225 from the right side as the lefty Kaler misses out.
Campus of Shenandoah is one of the most gorgeous college campuses there in the Maryland mountains, especially in the fall.
Is it in Maryland?
It might be in Virginia, actually.
Is it? I feel like it's West Virginia. 1-1. That's my guess, but I'm pretty sure it is in a place where it is a 30-minute walk to all 3 states, if that exists. I might be wrong. I don't know.
It is in Winchester, Virginia.
Virginia? Okay. 2-1. Foul backwards off of Behan's bat. He'll look to add to the Stingers there as a Hornet. Yeah, you just showed me a very beautiful image of it. Doesn't beat Syracuse. It blows it out of the water. Just kidding. Syracuse is actually really beautiful. I just thought it'd be funny. 2-2. Syracuse, a beautiful campus, especially during the winter time and the fall. A lot of snow, a lot of pretty sights. Cross College. 2-2. This one fouled back towards us. I reckon you should go look at a picture of Syracuse right now.
All right, I will.
The other SU in the Northeast. I guess not the Northeast because Pennsylvania isn't even, might not be the Northeast, and it's not in Pennsylvania.
Upstate New York, maybe?
Well, I mean Shenandoah.
Oh, you're
Is-
talking Shenandoah, not
Syracuse is
Syracuse.
New York is I'm pretty sure is the part of the Northeast. 2-2 from Kaler. Ground ball backwards again. 4 straight fouls.
Very classic look to the Syracuse campus.
Yeah, it feels like college is what a lot of people tell me, and I never really went there for the looks of it. But Hall of Language is a beautiful building. Cross College, and it feels very warm and wintry when you get to the evening nights. Very cold, though.
Enjoy some lake effect snow there.
Yeah, more than anywhere. Actually, 2-2. I think compound, at least in 2025, or maybe 24, we got more snow than anywhere except Erie, Pennsylvania in 24. I think it got more snow than anywhere, period, in 2025 collectively. Didn't have those big 14-inch random snowstorms on Tuesdays, though, at least when we were there. 3-2. Full count to Kaler on the batter as this one smashed down the line foul. They're in 0 for 0 today. He took a painful walk to first from Soler, who did not make the end of this lineup the second time through before being taken out.
You know, talking lake effect, I lived in upstate New York when they had a winter where there was 7 feet of snow.
Yeah, I do not envy you. That is
It's pretty amazing. School
long.
canceled for a week.
wow. Slayer's day on the books ends. 3 innings pitched. 2 earned runs, 4 hits, 3 walks as that one gets out of the glove, and another foul ball as the runner at first is not clock. They opted for a extra, what is it called?
Courtesy runner.
runner. As Aiden Zovac, the left-handed batter, will go at first. Gavin Elliott likely to continue going, but there is a man sort of warming up in the pen, has stopped. 3-2, full count, fouls it backwards. And this bat continuing very long now against Buren.
Yeah, both the pitcher and batter fighting hard to stay in this one. 3 foul balls in a row now.
Smashed in the air to left field, and it is no doubt gone. 2-run home run in his first season out of high school. Buren goes deep, and it is a 4-3 lead for Metro South County.
Well, if you saw that ball off the bat, you knew that that one was not staying inside Shirley Povich Field. Got everything on that one. That's been a popular spot for home runs in the last couple matches for the games here at the Big Train.
11th pitch of the AB. He takes Kaler deep. Clock will score, and a 4-3 lead now. They reclaim it. Going back and forth here, and we'll bring up the top of the lineup, Carice. 0 for 1 in the day as he pops this one to the right side. Gonzalez will get it, and that will be the second out of this inning.
Third baseman, number 7, Nadal Macklin.
Well, that at-bat, the previous one, cutting away from Kaler a little bit. Unfortunate to kind of leave one hanging so easily over the plate after such a long at-bat.
You got 11 pitches in. Certainly at the 10th pitch on a full count, you're just like, all right, I got to throw one he can hit. And sometimes that low changeup he's going for, Kaler leaves it high, as you mentioned, and slugged. For Buren, that is his first hit of this, first homer of this season, and his second and third RBI. Third hit of the year, 1-0. Missed high. Losing some control as it's not quite music that did it, but it certainly sounded good off the bat of Buren. It's a hitter's count to Crease. Missed again and in danger of walking a second batter in the inning. Bullpen activity beginning for Bethesda. 3-0. In there. So he tries to battle back now.
Kaler staying patient. Good strike there. Hoping that find itself back in this one as well. Does
that
so.
One in there. Wow.
It's a good pitch. Does just grab the inside part of the zone.
3-2 now, full count, payoff, and Hadav Macklin can't believe it. Outside, and he walked Macklin. Now on for the third time today.
Hitter number 3, Colin Moss.
Well, did well to fight back in the one. Should feel good about that at bat. Obviously does walk him at the end there, but just needs one more out here to limit the damage of the big bats of the Braves.
Macklin at first a infielder for Team Israel at the 18U level. Ground ball right side. Bonaris will have the third out of the inning. Big Train give up 2 runs on a massive bomb from Buren. We'll be right back as they try and levy it and try and find themselves back in the lead. Down 4-3 on the Big Train Baseball Network. We head to the bottom of the 4th. Gary Aarons will come out and end the day of Gavin Elliott, the reigning Cal Ripken Senior League Week 2 pitcher of the week. Will end his day with 3 innings pitched, 2 hits given up, 3 runs, only 1 earned, 5 walks, and 3 strikeouts. So not as controlled as he was and disciplined as he was in efficiency earlier, but it'll bring up Gary Aarons, the redshirt year at VMI. He is going into his sophomore year out of Great Falls, Virginia.
Yeah, has played in 2 games so far for the Braves, 5-inning pitch in those 2 games, 7 strikeouts. His ERA not quite what he would like at 12.60, but an opportunity here to maybe bring that down here. Like you said, mentioning with Elliott's night, obviously not quite as effective as he was last week, but to credit the big train in that one, they knew he was a good pitcher and they knew what they would need to do to score against him. Only one of the runs earned and hard base running from them, enabling them to score 3 runs against a good pitcher.
Mirza will come to the plate now after his last time out and helping to extinguish the side in that inning. Will come in after Foscolo. Lined out. Ground ball right side. Collected by the first baseman Kelly. Flipped to Aarons, and he will have his first out himself. Put out for him.
Aarons with a good hustle there to put himself in position to make that out at first base. Just good job reading the situation there. Mirza is retired after just 2 pitches.
Bonaris comes in now with 2 walks against the new arm Aarons. Outside. So it will be technically Kaler in possession of the loss right now if the score were to stand, but the likes of the starting pitcher for Metro South County will retain his win status as he's still technically in the game at the top of the 4th. As this one lined in the air to left field after it's B-Ran. He has to go cross body, but is able to make the catch as a fly out for Bonaris in the 4th brings up 2 outs. Cal Johnson. Johnson 1 for 2 tonight with a strikeout. Finally found a hit after having a sparse few in his last 3 games. Inside, and it hit him. Hit by pitch continue, as now that is the 7th in 2 nights and 11th in 3 against Bethesda, who have just been getting bruised and belted by the beanball.
Yeah, we had quite a few hit by pitches last night. TJ Gramercy taking 2. Charter Jr. taking another one yesterday morning, as I believe he had 2 the night before. So a couple players getting a little banged up. Apologies for the score bug, showing the wrong inning for a minute. We are in the bottom of the 4th here.
Just not usual. It's so you'd never see 11 hit by pitches in 3 games. It's
No,
not.
you don't.
It's not. I have no words for it because it's just not something that happens. I suppose that is my job, but 0-1. It's to the likes of Wright, who hits one left, foul.
Well, a good word for that. Something you don't see almost ever is unbelievable. Hard to believe.
He's not a pull hitter. Or he is a pull hitter, excuse me, from the left side. 0-2 now. Aaron's trying to get out of his first inning very quickly. Fly ball left field. Under it is B-Ran, and that will retire the side. Big Train leave 1 man on base here for a total of 6 already this game as we hit the 4th. A lot of runs left on base in the 4-3 deficit. Metro South County leading this one. We'll be right back on the Big Train Baseball Network. Going back to the Big Train Baseball Network, Kaler warming up for his second inning of work, gave up a home run we talked about earlier. That 11-pitch home run is the longest at-bat that has resulted in a home run this season so far in the Cal Ripken Senior League per the Presto Sports marker. But what happened was his changeup left over that top end of the zone, and it's such a difficult thing to deal with, especially for a lefty to righty batter, and you know a guy like him has got a lot of power in his bat. And for Kaler, it's been a very rough season. His ERA now climbing all the way to 18. Just needs to find a way to get through it at this point. And we saw Gagan finally in that second outing versus the other side. On the left side, get through a more lefty-heavy lineup better. And there's just so many left-righties in this lineup. So kind of a difficult matchup for Kaler, who does act as a specialist typically and is seeing a lot more righties than he's used to.
Yeah, and you mentioned Barron and his home run there. Able to use quite a few foul balls, continue to make contact to understand and figure out the timing of Kaler there. And once he had and made contact with who was a big hitter, I mean, that one was just gone off the bat.
4-3 lead for Metro South County. They'll try and add on to it. That one outside from Kaler as the batter. Vasquez stands in. Out of Bryant University, the Bulldog will look to try and take a bite out of this one. Vasquez fouls this one back, and count will move to ones.
Well, if you're looking to come to the ballpark, this next week we have lots of exciting ballpark nights. On Wednesday we have Twin Cities night, which is why we're playing the Crop Dusters. Friday is Juneteenth celebrations here at the park, and on Sunday we are celebrating Father's Day here at the park. So it's a good week to come and enjoy some Big Train baseball.
Sunday a 5 p.m. game, and that one hit the batter Vasquez. Fireworks on Juneteenth, so make sure you get here Friday. It's going to be a lovely night filled with a lot of history here in Metro South, or not Metro South County. We're playing Metro South County. It's not a real county, I might note. That's not the name of the county they're in, I believe. As
it is not.
A lot of history to be shown about Montgomery County and its relation to Juneteenth. Here on Friday, fireworks after. Going to be a lovely night. Vasquez now on his way at first. Robert Kelly to be brought up. He is 2 for 2 on his day. Very good one so far for the Monmouth product out of Jersey.
If you're curious about what county they're referencing when they are the South County Metro Braves, or the Metro South County Braves, it is Fairfax County in Virginia.
I believe it is Metro, as this one is, line foul. It's Metro, as in they're in the Metro DC area, but they're not the Metro DC South County Braves, because they're not in Metro DC anymore.
No.
I believe they used to once be. They are now just the Metro South County Braves, so they're in the metro area of South County High School.
They do play at South County High School, which is part of Fairfax, Virginia. So, yeah, that was correct.
1-1. Foul backwards again. Count will go to 1 and 2. I mean, is Fairfax, you would know this better than me, is Fairfax an area that is considered like Metro DC?
Yeah, I think people often,
Okay.
I mean, it's Northern Virginia, a county there, one of a couple that is generally considered the DC area. So for sure in the Metro DC area.
DMV. 1-2. I guess the whole state is. Lined on the ground, a worm burner, if you will, as the 1-2 delivered to Kelly, and he takes it the other way.
Yeah, I'll say someone from the DMV area. Sometimes Richmond and the likes kind of get discounted from the DMV, a little too far down there. We'll just count them as part of the South, and we'll take the DMV. Northern Virginia can stay, but Southern,
Yeah. I guess the whole part of the DMV area is you need the D letter and the M letter. Not Delaware, which you made sure to correct me on very quickly, which I did not think it was Delaware. You just were making sure I didn't think that, as brief mound visit for Gramasty and Kaler.
I think I specifically cleared that up because I spent part of my life thinking it was Delaware,
Yes.
being from the area. So it is DC.
Like Johnny Cash, been everywhere.
There you go.
Aiden Albright standing in. Infielder playing center tonight. He can play just about anywhere. Virginia Military Institution product. Goes for the bunt. Popped up and foul. Albright season at VMI at a 630 OPS. This season, though, he's doing quite good. 333 average with a 647 OBP. Very similar to the catcher, Gramesty, and overall. Counts 0-1.
Keeler here looking for an answer to find some more outs for this big train. Top of the 5th.
Kaler just hasn't had the day he's been hoping for. Little blooper in the center. It's actually a line drive. Got a lot more of it than I thought he was. And Machado, throw is wide. He tries and stretch like a first baseman, but he can't get there. Falls off the bag and only 1 out on what could have surely been 2. As Vasquez got way too far, thinking that one was going to drop it. In fairness, I did too. There was a lot of front spin on that.
There was, and the ball just kind of kept going right into the center fielder Mirza's glove, but his throw over to second pulled Machado just off the bag, the umpire signaling that he was too far off when the runner came back. So only 1 out there, but good play from Mirza staying underneath the ball.
One of weirdly a lot of lefty batting catcher's clock. He's the 5th of opposition we've seen this season. Runner goes, Gramesty, a great throw, and he is beat by a mile. Don't run on the FAU owl behind the dish, and he will have to go back to the dugout on the second caught stealing of the night for Gramesty, 3rd in 2 games. Smaller catcher, but he has got the best arm in this league, it feels like.
Oh, yeah, just absolutely lining that one over to third, and Johnson making a good play. He thought it was the last one. He had thought Machado maybe got that out there, but he wouldn't have they couldn't have both got it, so he was headed toward the dugout, but still one more here for Kaler as the strike in his first pitch there, but TJ Gramesty proving once again why he's the starting catcher for the big train.
That's a ball don't lie moment. This one in the air to right. It's a heavy, well-struck Foscolo in the gap, off his glove. It'll be an error, but he has to pick it up and fire it in. Runner from third or from first all the way home is the likes of Robert Kelly and a no RBI for Clock, who just barely gets that off. No, it'll be marked as a hit as it jumps off the glove of him. So a double, RBI double for Clock.
Yeah, Foscolo making a big run over there, but not able to quite cover the distance as that one just bounces off the very top piece of his glove and onto the warning track. Stand-up double there. That will bring an RBI and another run for the Braves, now leading 5-3.
Two errors for the Braves, none for the big train, as that one's ruled a double. The runner on second, and the lead extended to 5-3 for South County. It's 8:40 here. A little late as Kaler balks the runner over to third, and not exactly what he'd been hoping for. Came set and moved again. Can't do that, and a runner will be in scoring position, prime scoring position for Swakowski, who stands in now 1 for 2 at a single in the second.
Yeah, an unfortunate error there from Kaler that will send the batter over to third base. So needing it out here in order to keep the runners and the damage in this inning to a minimum.
0-1 is that one just gets on the lower end of the zone. They will flash error, and I believe that will be an error. So not a double. We'll mark it as an error. This one is a swing. It's a swing. 0-2. I thought he pointed over to the first base side, so I was staring at the first base umpire, who did not need the marker at all. He was swinging his arm out once and then a 2, meaning he had swung strike 2. 0-2. Thought he was pointing. Fatal mistake as Kaler trying to get out of this one. It is a good breaking ball that he just barely survives on.
Okay, they're able to stick with his 0-2 count for this one. Looking for precision on his, what would be, I believe, his first strikeout tonight.
So no double now for the man at third. 0-2. E9. Outside fastball. And count will go to 1-2 on Swakowski.
The official scoring of the Cal Ripken website does still have that marked as a double for Clock and an RBI.
Sure, they said it as a double initially and agreed that maybe it should have been an error. They'll have to go back and change it. But official score texting me, error, sorry. They didn't need to say sorry. It's their job. They can call whatever they want. And I'm just like, okay, yeah, sure. Absolutely.
We do have to stick with the official scoring here.
0-2
Otherwise, we could get really carried away.
0-2 turns to 2-2 as 2 straight misses. Here comes that very pitch, though. Sawed off. Bonarese's leap doesn't get it. An RBI single. Lead extended now. 6-3, Metro South County. Good hit from Swakowski, who has an RBI single now on the day.
And that one will certainly count as an RBI for the Braves there. A nice piece of hitting that does sail just over the second baseman Bonarese's head and drops into right field. So the Braves here with a 3-run lead in the top of the 5th.
And it'll bring up Caden Barron, who enters this one after an 11-pitch at-bat in which he homered against the man on the mound, Kaler. So Kaler has given up 4 runs already. Might give something here more. 1-0. Going to try and be given a hit to pitch. Pitch to hit, excuse me. 1-0. Outside, and you have to have the mentality as the batter, knowing this guy isn't in control. He's a young hitter, and Behan. It's Behan, excuse me. I have official wording finally. Behan, 2-0. You need to be a mature hitter as a very young player going into his freshman year. He's seen just that, and he mashes another one, but it will get down. He'll have himself a single as Wright couldn't get a beat on it in time. A very hard hit liner into left.
Kaler maybe not fully learning his lesson on that one. Learned the hard way where not to put the ball for BN to hit at it, and another base hit for him there.
A good example of why launch angle matters, because I think that one might have been hit as hard as the home run, but just kind of into left and a little low to have gotten out, at any exception of the ball going about 130 miles an hour. But it didn't, so runners on first and second as Kaler will give this pitch up to Crease, who hits a fly ball into left and is collected by Foscolo. So 2 runners stranded by these here Big Train, and they will go to the bottom half of this inning now in the 5th to try and fight back. Now down 3, the biggest deficit they've had today, biggest lead for Metro South County tonight. No, now. Popped into the air and left field as it's in bloop territory. 3 will go after it. The argument is won by Albright, who drifts in and gets the second out of the inning for the Braves.
Number 30, Ryan Foscolo.
So fly out brings up Ryan Foscolo. Trying to put a charge into something here with 2 on. He homered last night. Pichardo, the other home run at Big Train at Shirley Povich Field for the Big Train, is not in the lineup tonight. He's got off.
Well, the Big Train haven't quite had a answer for the bats of the Braves as Bayhan hit a home run over the left side wall. Big Train's still a little cold on the offensive side so far.
Notably, Big Train have actually only homered on the first pitch of every time they've gotten all 3 of their homers. It was Johnson, first pitch and only on the second game of the year on a Wednesday. And both Pichardo and Foscolo in the previous 2 days went deep on the first pitch they saw. 1-0. Saw of the at-bat, both in their second at-bat, notably, actually. Odd.
It is odd. Not often typical as first pitch hit tends to normally be a fly out or ground out, and so impressive to make a lot of contact and velocity on your first swing.
2-0. It's a good hitter's count for Foscolo, looking for something to drive. A lot of slug in that bat as he misses on that one. Not too many hits on the year, but he has kind of operated as a power and strikeout sort of guy. Weirdly, because he's only struck out 3 times, he just felt like he's been in a lot of 2-strike counts, has fought his way into a ground out at least. 270 average, though, with a 450 slug. It's been good in this heart of the lineup. 2-1. He tries to go deep on another pitch. It fouls off and nails clock behind the dish in his right leg.
Well, might have got a taste of the big hit last night. Now hungry for another one here as he's swinging hard. Big home run for him. I guess it was yesterday morning against the Thunder Bolts of Silver Spring.
Foscolo, one of 3 Big Train members who were ranked in the 40 to 70 range in the 2025 class out of Florida. Was the 67th best player in Florida last year in high school. First team All-Orlando in his high school season as well. Redshirted his previous year as a Kentucky Wildcat. But 2s now with 2 on for Foscolo. He reaches off and tries to get a high and away fastball that he fouls backwards. Slug certainly a new thing for the young outfielder. Had a 100 slug higher than his average in his previous season in summer at Delray Beach. Only 1 homer and 6 doubles out of 28 hits there. 2-2. They'll dance again as Aaron's trying to escape the jam and pass the ball on. Inside, and we will have another payoff pitch.
That's a big payoff pitch in the game for both sides. Big Train need to find a way to bring some more runs home, and the Braves defense continue to stick this one out. They're going to make it really tough on Bethesda in the later innings.
Aaron's to the tying run at the dish. Southpaw delivers. Fastball driven into left, but foul down the line. They'll dance again on the 3-2 as that one was pretty well struck, but kind of ended up off the carom in the bullpen.
A lot of big hits so far this season at Shirley Povich, being pulled to the left side. Not seen too many deep into the right side of this field. A couple off center fence.
Full count. Payoff again. Inside high, as this one will be a walk. Foscolo, the 3rd batter to walk this inning, and he's on his way to first base, bringing up the ranks of Jackson Mirza. One of those other outfielders I mentioned earlier, Malvasio, the 3rd. Mirza's at the tail end of this lineup today. 0 for 1, has a walk and a steal already.
Well, Mirza now this season earning himself the same title as Malvasio as a two-way player.
He's hitting 118 on this young season. Only 2 hits. Bases loaded. He hits this one high in the air to right field. Going to be a long run for Stavosky as this one's off the carom foul. And could have been a catch there, but I think he just thought he was going to run out of room way earlier than he did.
Well, you mentioned first pitches of the at-bat there, and Merzon, the first pitch he sees, gets a whole lot of this ball. Does drift foul on the right side, and not quite out of the fence there.
Switkowski in right, having a very tough run at it. Didn't get it. 0-1. Southpaw surrounded. Will be high and outside to Mirza. Communications major at the University of South Florida. One of many Florida players here for these big train. 1-1. Aaron's here. Stretch work as way behind a fastball is Mirza. Count now 1-2.
Big moment for Mirza to really make an impact in this lineup in a way that he hasn't quite got moving so far this season.
1-2. Trying to end another bases loaded jam outside. Big Train had bases loaded in the third. They didn't collect a single run. Excuse me, collected 2 runs, I apologize. Did collect a couple. As a couple in both ball and strike markers to the number 2 batter with 2 outs. Caught, looking. 3 are stranded for the Braves again, and already 9 left on base for these Big Train here. Bottom of the 5th, turns to the top of the 6th. South County, a 6-3 lead.
After 5, your score is the Braves 6, the Big Train 3. All right, fans, turn your attention down the third base line where Homer and Buck.
Capuano will enter this game after Terry Kaler will depart with the holding the decision loss. Kaler ends his day with 2 innings pitched, 4 hits allowed, 4 runs, 3 earned, 2 walks, and no strikeouts for any member of these Big Train staff so far. Capuano will try and change that. Already 2 appearances in this young season.
Yeah, his last game against Olney, pitched 2.1 innings there, got 5 strikeouts and only 3 earned runs, so not a bad outing from him. Definitely someone who can come in and be effective. Hopefully he can find the zone a little better. I think that's what Kaler struggled with here. Not able to put too many outs together because he just wasn't able to find the zone on too many pitches. So Capuano will use his power here.
Capuano out of the Youngstown State University. Sean McAvoy, one of our writers, did a great piece on him before the season. Transferred from Frederick Community College out of Bristow, Virginia, native. Went to the Penguins, couldn't play last year due to an elbow injury. That actually happened in his first outing here. As his second career with the Big Train, as his 4th career appearance and his 3rd of this season.
Nadab Macklin.
Had a pretty good year at Frederick with a pretty good year in 2025 with Frederick. Had a 40-inning pitch total, 7 starts in 15 games, 4.2 ERA, so just did just about anything you can. And as a starter, 1.52 whip, not too bad. As That'll bring the likes of the plate for these here Braves. Macklin, who leads off the inning again and just got nailed, or just avoided. That one goes right behind him.
Well, Capuano needs to make sure that he does have control early. Doesn't want this one to get away from him. As that pitch narrowly misses his first batter that he sees tonight.
Technically his 4th appearance of the year, as he was one of the pitchers in the suspended game against only a week and some change ago. I like these Braves uniforms. Their homes used to be blue at the shoulders and white in the middle, very reminiscent of the 70s Braves uniforms, which Hank Aaron wore, as the count's now 3-0. Already 8 walks administered and a 3.8 whip for Capuano this season.
Does struggle a little bit with that walk. Wants to make sure that he's not getting too far away from him here.
3-0's in there, and some cruise now. Trying to find that first strike. Sometimes it's always the first one that kind of helps a guy get into an at-bat. Capuano, the big 6'1", 225 righty, certainly has the ability to deliver. A lot of velocity, as the 3-1 is a strike. Macklin didn't think so.
No, he was almost all halfway to first base when the umpire said, you have to be back in the box. That was a strike.
Maybe just didn't hear him flat out.
Yeah.
Because he is, man behind the dish, has been, I think, pretty good on his calls today. I've actually not a single one where I've been like, oh, maybe not, but been great, I think, in that wider margin. Just a little bit late on the strike call, which sometimes confuses a batter who is maybe not in the headspace to listen if he's already believed that he's on his way to first base. Can't tell him anything wrong. He'll walk regardless, as Macklin has his 2nd walk of the day, now 1 for 2 with 2 walks.
Well, no deliberation on that one, as that ball was pretty close to Laughlin's head from Capuano.
Lott, who has yet to accrue a at-bat today in 3 plate appearances, 0 for 0 with a sacrifice fly RBI and a walk and a hit by pitch. First pitch in there from Capuano, some extra oomph on that fastball.
Talked about in other games the importance of getting ahead in counts by pitchers. And they're able to kind of pitch more of what they want to pitch instead of they feel like they need to.
Ground ball right side, it's foul. As Gonzalez was going to go for 2, just could not there. Not quite a tailor-made double play as it went to the first baseman. Some hems loose, but did go foul.
Good heads-up play from Gonzalez, getting the ball in his glove and tagging first base, but it's not result in the second out as the ball was foul.
0-2 count now from Capuano to Lott in the box. Lott just committed to Western Michigan. 0-2. Great breaking ball, and he gets caught looking.
Shortstop, number 10.
Downstairs curve gets Lott and will bring up Vasquez.
Great pitch from Capuano. Just gets the corner of the zone there.
Counts nulls if you're watching World Cup soccer. 0-0. 0-0 draw today between Germany and can't remember either. I was hoping you could
Germany
get there.
beating Curacao 7-1 last night. All 3 matches today so far have resulted in draws.
It was Spain. You go. We got you. You're the soccer guy.
We had Spain and Cape Verde with a 0-0 draw. We had Egypt and Belgium with a 1-1 draw, and Saudi Arabia and Uruguay with a 1-1 draw today.
Counts 0-2 after the foul ball. 0-2 after the foul ball, excuse me. And
Notably, that's all off the top of my head. I don't have anything open in front of me.
I do, but I know you weren't looking. New Zealand just scored in the 7th minute, like literally right now, against Iran. who is ranked much higher than them, 20th in the world for Iran. New Zealand 85th, which is below Cabo Verde. Cabo Verde? Inside fastball. That game was probably the best game of soccer I've ever watched, as Cabo Verde's 40-year-old goaltender made 7 saves, stopped an expected 1.47 goals to keep a draw against the number 3 team in the world.
An incredible game, really, and just show what the World Cup brings you. It's so fun to watch countries that have such a small portion of the population of the country that they're playing in a game and still able to come and get a result, and watching them celebrate a draw like it's a 3-point victory.
Yeah, 500,000 people in Cabo Verde. Less followers, or less than the followers gained by the 40-year-old goaltender they have. He's gained 1.5 or 1.95 million after that game.
Incredible.
Went from 50,000 to 50 or 20 or 1.2 million, excuse me, as the 1-2 is lined up the middle off the chest of Machado. It's his first error of the season.
Well, we were just praising Machado earlier in the game for how solid he's been in the shortstop's position this season. That one just took an unfortunate hop.
Yeah, I will apologize there. I guess that's a technical commentator curse. We've been talking about how good this combination up the middle has been, and Machado and Bonaris now 1 error between them as Vasquez reaches that way. That'll bring up the lights of Robert Kelly, who has been great tonight. 3 for 3, all singles, one of which accrued an RBI. And it's second and first. Mocklin on the walk to start the inning as Capuano tries to navigate with some runners on.
It's been a tough night for Big Train pitching. I'm sure they have been hesitant to put too many in the zone because they do understand the power that these Braves have in their bats, but just not finding the zone in the timing that they need. That one does, though.
1-0, the heavy fastball from Capuano. Hey, if you're looking at the College World Series, which I know to some of you definitely are, 4-2 Oklahoma leads over Georgia in the bottom of the 7th. Alabama was eliminated today, who was my championship pick at the start of the tournament. Wow, 14-2 as Texas got a hold of them as Gramercy makes a good save on a low fastball, and the runners do not advance.
Have a few players here for the Big Train that are a part of that Alabama squad.
Yeah. Obviously have not been here just yet. Riojas, put up 6 innings pitched for his 100th strikeout of the season for Texas. 2-1. Count to Kelly, Jersey native. Big wave at that one. And he'll have to kind of collect himself here. Take a big hack at that one. And a pitcher, you feel like you've got this guy in your control. You can do something that you feel like he's going to swing on just about anything close. Maybe a upstairs fastball, 2-2. He goes for the downstairs one. Runner, grab ball to third, and that throw was very wayward from Johnson, who gets away to the left side as he's able to step on third for 1. Gonzalez cannot accrue the throw there, and 1 run will score on the error.
Well, good hustle to get over to third, but really poorly misplaced throw from the third baseman allows another runner to score for the Braves here in the top of the 6th.
So an error on back-to-back batters as Vasquez reaches on an error and Kelly does as well. Mocklin is able to score. Vasquez at third, and because the ball, I believe, went out of play. Oh, no, excuse me. He was at second anyway. Kelly's over to second on the error as well. So 2 unearned runs for Capuano if he is given anything up here, as Aiden Albright, who is 0 for 3 on the day, lined out to center his last time up, comes into the box. Ground ball up the middle. It's over to Bonaris, and he is able to get the throw off to first. Big Train give up 1 more run. 7-3 the lead now for these Big Train to try and get back in the bottom half of the 6th inning on the Big Train Baseball Network. Welcome back to the Big Train Baseball Network. Talking about some Big Train in the pros now. As we talked about a few earlier, Lowe and Shawnwell, as Hunter Brown is going to be our topic of discussion today. Scheduled to make his first start since joining the IL for the Astros in early May. Has had a very good season this year. .84 ERA in only a few appearances, only 10 innings pitched. Has been very good this season and will luckily return to an Astro squad in desperate need of an arm out of the starting pen. He's also up there, if he continues to pitch well, to be traded from an Astro squad that has 2 years of control left on him, and especially with the 2027 lockout. It's interesting to see about a guy 2 years control. It's basically one. So could be dealt if the Astro struggles continue, but they are kind of making a resurgence from the bottom to the top of the AL West, which is just up in the air.
Yeah, the Astros would be very happy to have Hunter Brown back with them later season. We'll see if he does end up sticking with them after this season.
In a brief correction to last inning, the runner was out who just ran home for the sake of it, as Bonaris lines one up the middle. Good piece of hitting, and the Big Train have their leadoff man aboard. He has been great today. Aboard for the top of now 3 innings, and so he just ran home anyway after being out at third, as Cal Johnson was the one who made the out, and then the error promptly after. He never scored. So 6-3, no runs allowed in that inning. Big Train escape a 2-error, basically, situation with 2 on, and
A little embarrassing for us, but
Yeah.
good news for Capuano on the mound there.
Yeah, how about that?
A run does not get through.
I was really confused because I was like, no runs. I watched him walk across home plate, which he did to get back to the dugout. So Bonaris' single leads things off. It brings off Cal Johnson. Third baseman is 1 for 2 on the day with a strikeout and hit by pitch. 1-0 from Aarons, and now his 3rd inning of work.
That second pitch there in there. 4 strike 1. Johnson looking to add on to his hitting total tonight and get on base.
Throw back to the runner Bonaris, who is safe on the attempt to throw over to the bag at first from Clock. Bonaris at first. He's got 6 stolen bases, is a dangerous man.
You know, Bonaris getting his jersey a little dirty there. Reminded me last night of a funny situation we had where, well, actually yesterday morning, turned around a little too quick for the Big Train to wear their home uniform, so they were in their black aways. Back in the greens tonight, but interesting to see wearing away jerseys at home yesterday morning.
2-1. Aaron's in this young season a 12 ERA prior to this outing, as that one's in there for strike 2. And now 1 strike away from reaching what would be his 10th strikeout of the season. He's already extinguished 2 via the wave. 2's on the board as dangerous runner at Bonaris at first looms at Aaron's head after the pickoff attempt and the throwback. Left outside and another full count, which we have just seen constantly tonight. Not too efficient from either side, as this one's going to go, I think, a pretty long way. We're only the bottom of the 6th, 2 hours and 20 minutes in. That's how long some NBA games, and MLB games have been lasting. Knicks winning the championship still in my head. Full count. Doesn't go, and it's a walk, so this is not important, as he is awarded the bag anyway. So
Second baseman over there making sure to hold on to his tag, and the umpire telling him while he's on the ground there, you can let it go. He gets to be at second base, no matter if you make the tag or not, as the walk from Cal Johnson gets him over to first.
Just
Bonaris
in case,
second.
as Clock confused as to why Bonaris, who's not on the bag right now, isn't out. And the answer is that play is dead. He is took a pretty hard slide there. Seems a little ginger. Oh, with the runner on. Right, nails this one into the gap and left after it is Behan. He won't get there. This is going to go off the wall. He collects it from the carom. 1 runner will go home as Bonaris goes to the plate. Play there. He's in the way, and the catcher loses his legs as Bonaris has to slide into them.
Great run by him. He takes some hard contact, but the big train draw within 2. Great hit by Wright as well. A double into left.
Well, what a clinical piece of hitting from Wright. Gets all of that ball and sends it into the fence. But Bonner-Reese, what a big play at the plate. Not being afraid of contact and just diving head first into the plate, scoring a run and making this deficit a little smaller for the Bethesda home squad.
Aaron's not able to get an out here in what is his 3rd inning of work. They'll have a brief talk with him, maybe take the ball, but tying run now at Wright at second base. And suddenly some life in this lineup as nobody in the pen, I believe, ready just yet. And no, that's not the case. Somebody will come in to replace Aaron's as this will be the end of his night. We'll be right back on the Big Train Baseball Network. They draw within another run. 2-run deficit, 6-4 Braves. Tyler Kim, the righty out of New Jersey Institution of Technology, the Highlanders, is in his 2nd year with Metro South County, 4th appearance this season as he looks to escape a jam with the tying runner on second.
Yeah, Tyler Kim has been the go-to guy in coming in and being effective as a reliever for the Braves. Has played in 3 games so far, 8 strikeouts in his 7 innings pitched, so been effective in coming in and doing what he needs to get outs for the Braves squad this season, and a key returner on the mound for them.
Yeah, he's given up 4 earned runs this year, but 10 runs total. So one of the more potent arms out of the pen, but not exactly a closer type guy, even though he does have a save. He's got good stuff. We'll see what he can do here for these Braves as Big Train will have the likes of Panette batting. Tonight he is 0 for 2, hit by pitch as well as a steal in that 5th inning. Now in the 6th, he's got a good spot to really drive this one home and get the momentum headed towards the Big Train track.
Yeah, Panette would love nothing more than to get his bat moving here, as he has a good position with no outs and runners on 2nd and 3rd for the Big Train. Good opportunity to even this game.
Strike on the outside portion of the plate to Panette. Now the 1-1 from the righty to the righty. Ground ball up the middle. Crease collects, looks over towards home, and the first out of the inning will draw a run home. Fielder's choice for Panette as he's extinguished, but he does drive in Johnson.
Now batting for the Big Train.
Well, big of Panette there to come up with contact in that at-bat, because contact is what he needs in order to bring a runner home.
Just need to put the ball in play there. It's exactly what he did. Gonzalez, the lefty now. Big bat of him. Has the tying run at 3rd with a single out. Just needs to put a ball high enough in the air foul. And that one, if it went fair, would have probably left the yard. Fell backwards, but well hit. Hard hit, not well hit. It's backwards.
Gonzalez still the RBI leader in this league, so the man you want when you have a runner at third base.
He's a little less behind that fastball as he fouls it over the netting. In the Miller and Long grandstand towards the parked cars outdoors. Gonzalez 0 for 3 tonight. Hit well with Risp. Got one here. 0-2. Big wave at that one. Gonzalez down in 3 pitches. Kim has got himself an outing going. He's given up an unearned run, but that is the bat you need to get out and unscathed from. But Machado, an opportunity to right some wrongs he's had, as he's not been the best hitter, as he has not been the hitter he's been earlier in the season in these previous few games. Switch hitter will bat lefty. He's hit very well out of this spot comparatively to the righty box. First pitch, low, and a skipper as Clock is able to block it.
Well, you know, this 4, 5, 6 spot for the big train could prove to be a really powerful batting combination. Pitchers of the Braves have done a good job dispatching specifically those batters so far tonight, and none of them been too effective here.
1-0 misses outside. The fastball from Kim is nowhere near. It's his 11th unearned run, or 11th run given up this season, 7th unearned. 2-0, and a good breaking pitch is in there. Machado opts to lay off, looking for a red dead heater. Kim with New Jersey, the New Jersey Institution of Technology, at a 4.74 in 12 games from the pen. 19 innings of relief there for the Highlanders. 2-1, and he'll watch ball 3.
Machado, a switch hitter here because of the right hand of Kim, opting to go from the opposite side of the box.
3-1. Machado watches ball 4, will get his way to first, and the issue will be forced down the line. Gramesty will pick up where he left off. Has walked twice today. 5 walks last night and tonight combined. No hits in either of those games, as he has to find a way to try and put a runner across. Tying run at third. Corners, so the one at first would put the big train in the lead for the second time. First time since the 4th.
Walk draws no damage for Kim there, but another runner to have to worry about here. That ball finds the inside corner of the zone.
And
first strike.
You mentioned errors, and very lucky to have not gotten any run off 2 straight errors there earlier, because this 6-3 lead coming into the game, or in the inning, for the Braves, is one that has maybe not been upheld if the big train could find something here, but it would have been a lot deeper if those errors had cost them a run. 1-1. Watches ball 2 on the high curve.
If you saw the pitch before that one, it flashed right by Gramesty's face, and he kind of walked away from the batter's box after that one, kind of shaking it off in his head. He did get whacked quite a few times in the last couple of days by pitches.
2-1. Ball 3, and that one's a fastball that misses. Gramsci a little bit shorter than a few of these other players on this squad. Would have been a strike to, I think, anybody else, but sometimes being 5'9" has its advantages. I would know. 3-1. Inside, and he walked him. Gramsci. Ring of Fire continues, and dangerous for Kim on the mound. It could burn him. Foscolo will come into this one. 2 plate appearances so far. He has seen, or 3 plate appearances so far, and he has seen well work. Homer last night, the opportunity for a grand slam, which would give them the lead and then some. Just trying to drive a run in, though.
Well, Foscolo, feeling the pressure of this one, able to deliver last night, would love to do it again here.
Outside. This one just missing.
You know, as someone who spent their freshman year on a red shirt at a big school like Kentucky, I think really relishing in the opportunity to come here and be a big impact player for the big train.
Well, of a leadoff type of guy at Delray Beach last year. It's kind of turned into more of a slugger. He's batting 8th tonight. 2-0 as the pitches now. It's been 4 straight balls, and Clock going to go talk to his pitcher, Kim, who has got a serious jam. Surrounded, ducks on the pond, whatever you want to use. It is not good. 2-0 count to a power bat in Foscolo, who is not wearing that iridescent, kind of reflective arm sleeve anymore that he had at the beginning of the season. Iridescent? Is that the...
Yeah.
Okay, I said
works.
iridescent, so... Not right, but we got there. Foscolo steps in again after the mound visit from the catcher Clock. He'll try and get his pitcher on the same timing as him. 2-0. Big hack at that one. Foscolo can't connect.
Eyes got wide that time. That pitch looked like it was coming down the middle, which it did, but was just behind it.
Looked like Broadway, and he's not able to catch it. 2-1. Line in the air to right field. Back on it is Scanlon, and he will get there. Stranding 3 again. The Big Train leave bases loaded for the 3rd time this game. 12 batters left on base, 6 in the last 2 innings as they've left the bases stranded, loaded twice now. They cut the lead down to 1. 6-5 the lead for these Metro South County Braves here on the Big Train Baseball Network. Catch number 22, Connor Clock, will enter this one as Paul, the voice of the PA, lets us know. Big Train down 6-5, and after Aiden Albright ended the last inning, Clock will have the opportunity as he helped navigate the jam with his pitcher Kim to add more on here in this top half of the 6th inning. 7th inning. Capuano, 2nd inning of work for him as Clock hits a pop-up in on the infield after it is a few members. Right will call him off, who is moved out of left. Looks like Will Hack has been moved in to right field in place of Foscolo, who has moved into left. So that will leave the odd man out.
Bono Reese is no longer playing second base. That will be occupied by Brendan Wright.
Wondering if he's all right. Hope he is. Took a pretty hard contact as he kind of just slid through the legs of the catcher. And, it's hard there. The catcher's trying to get the ball, and there's nowhere else for him to go. He has to kind of cross the line where the batter's going, and he just slides into his legs. Both guys aren't in a great situation because the catcher gets his legs taken out from under him and he lands on Bonaris. So 1-0, clock down on the pop-up to right.
Yeah, it was one of those kind of bang-bang plays that left both players a little shaken up, and the Bonaris is all right and just kind of coming out of this game as maybe a precaution.
Chilly night here, 66 degrees. I mean, chilly if you're, I think, not from Chicago. Haha, 2-0. It's a nice thing. It's been very hot lately. That heat wave kind of passing. It'll be around the 80s, I think, the rest of the week.
Should be looking like so far not too many thunderstorms in the area this week, so we'd love to get our full week of playing done.
Fingers crossed it's going to rain tomorrow. Comma, fingers crossed, comma, it is going to rain tomorrow. Not fingers crossed it will rain tomorrow. 3-0. Capuano is able to find the strike zone on the 3-1. On set 3-1, he will deliver now. Tchaikovsky in. As he misses outside, he will walk. Now keeps his 2-for-3 moniker as he makes his way to first base and brings up Caden Behan, who 2-for-2 tonight. Homered earlier and brought 2 runs in. Also had hit by pitch and a single to get him elsewhere. (6-5) the lead for Metro South County with a runner on. Trying to turn it over to the other side of the lineup. Ooh, hit the batter right off the shoulder. Didn't consider moving as Behan just eats one. That is a tough man.
Yeah, and credit to him for sticking in that one and earning himself to first base. And always crucial to get men on base, and that's a painful one to do it.
Yeah, that guy eats glass. Ow. As third base coach and umpire checking over something as they'll get a courtesy runner, I think. Yeah, it looks like it'll be a courtesy runner who can, I think, go in for anybody. Unsure of that total ruling because we do not use a courtesy runner. Maybe coming in fully as a pinch runner. We will have to see if the likes of Beer trot out to left next inning. In the box is the leadoff man, Christopher Crease, who's nearly got the pop-up to every single infield position. He was walked his first time up, scored, but popped out in the second to short, popped out to first on the 4th inning, and his last appearance popped out to the second baseman, Bonaris, who has been replaced. Outside on the first pitch from Capuano.
Running for the Braves at first base, number 8, Aiden Zovak.
It is officially a pinch runner. So Zovak will come into the game for Biran, who just ate a missile to the shoulder. 1-0 as Crease digs in with 2 runners on. A big wave at that one. Crease, a leadoff hitter in D3 as well, who stayed there because Stevens Tech is a fantastic engineering school and he wants to be an engineer. So he's continued to play baseball for the Ducks, spending his college career in Hoboken on the water of the Atlantic Ocean. And you can see Newark. 1-1. It's a good front door breaking ball that makes its way in at the tail end of the strike zone. 1-2 to the batter now. Looks back at the runner, but Capuano delivers and high. Counts 2s. Capuano hits another. 2 batters hit in a row, and suddenly
Number 7.
Things are looking very grim for the big train. One out and 2-1 via the hit by pitch. One at third on via the walk. Bases loaded situation on both sides in the top and bottom of the last two frames.
Well, this could get a little ugly here for the big train. Capuano just needs the second to slow down and get some more of his pitches in control as the pitching coach does take a visit to the mound for Capuano here.
Lopez will come up and talk to his pitcher, Capuano. Lachlan in, we mentioned earlier, from here at Israel, a Team Israel infielder in the 18U season. Plays at Paris Junior College. He's had a good season so far. This is his second game. He did earn 2 hits. But Capuano will remain in this game as he will be given the rights to navigate. Trying to right this ship and play tugboat. Lachlan coming in at Paris Junior College, where he posted a 1,000 OPS. Drove in 35 runs. Has driven in 3 so far this season for the Braves, and we'll try and add on to that.
Capuano given the chance to take a breather. Using that hopefully here to deliver some important pitches to try and keep this one close for the big train.
Behind the batter as the breaking pitch has been getting away from Capuano. So his last 3 pitches almost hit every single batter. Well, almost hit 2. Almost hit Lachlan there, who is definitely going to be going in with some form of heebie-jeebies.
Yeah, had to take a big duck to avoid getting whacked by that pitch. Capuano needing to breathe and deliver a little more control.
1-0. Breaking pitches outside. Lachlan happy to get a ball he doesn't have to dodge. He's already walked earlier. He's been walked twice. Knocked a single in the first. 2-0. Infielders on the corners in the middle. That double play possibilities. They don't go all the way in as that one's in there. 2-1 the count now. Going for the corners in to try and go home if they go there, but if they go up the middle, gives the opportunity for Machado and Wright to attempt a double play to just get out of the inning automatically.
That could be a big opportunity for the big train here.
2-1. Just a bit outside. The fastball can't catch the zone as now we have the threat of a walk from Capuano, who has walked 3, his 4th walk of the inning. He's walked 5 tonight. 4 tonight, excuse me, already. 3-1. 1 out. That pitch in there, and we will have a very crucial full count for the Penguin on the mound, Capuano.
Done a good job fighting his way back in this one. Really needing an out here for Bethesda.
Righty. He'll deliver on the full count. They try and dance away from a full bases loaded walk there. They can't just avoid it. And Tango goes the way of Lachlan. He will have an RBI walk, scoring Swesnikovsky, as Bien will move, or Bien's replacement will move in, as it's the like of Aiden Zovak who paint train for him. Zovak out of Florida Southern. Wild pitch. This one goes off the backstop. It's out of play, so runners will automatically score. Everybody gets a bag. And lead now extended 8-5. Wild pitch. Draws this one back to 3, a lead they've already, or deficit they've already seen tonight for these Bethesda Big Train. 6-3, now 8-5. Drew within 1 at the 6-5 march.
Yeah, and this one just getting away from Capuano.
Ground ball hard over from right. He gets it back to second, goes for the runner there, but out 2 collected at first base for Wright, who makes his look at third, and Zovac won't go. They're able to get rid of Lott as Alejandro Vasquez will come in now with runners at third and second.
Doing well to dispatch 1. Still not an impossible deficit for the Big Train here. They're able to keep it at a difference of 3.
Yeah, credit to right there to handle a very hard hit ground ball. Wormburner definitely had some serious momentum on the shortcut infield as the breaking pitch is just outside, or just inside, excuse me. That is a difficult play to make, and he gets it over to first. Doesn't force any kind of throw. Vasquez on the night. 0 for 1. He reached on an error his last time up, but sack flied one in and walked twice so far. He mashes one into the gap in left after it is the likes of Mirza, and it is off the wall. Foscolo has to get it off the carom, throws it in. 1-2 runners will score, and that lead now extended 10-5, doubling the Big Train run total. As an RBI double for Alejandro Vasquez drives in both Zovac and Mocklin.
Well, that ball was just mashed.
First baseman, number 46,
Rebounds
Robert
off the
Kelly.
fence there, deep in left field. The Braves starting to run away with this one as they have figured out Capuano and what they needed to do to hit off him.
Zovac already scored on the wild pitch. It was both Crease and Mocklin that scored. 4-run top of the 7th. Double digits given up by the Big Train. Ball outside to the next man up, Robert Kelly. Great piece of hitting by Vasquez. For him on the season, that's his second double, but he's already hitting .444 coming into tonight. 1-0. That one misses. That was RBI 7 and 8 for him that came in. 6 was the sac fly in the first. Ground ball up the middle. Machado can't get there. Rounding is the likes of Vasquez, and the throw home is wayward. He will score. An RBI single for Robert Kelly.
Braves bats just moving at this point,
Fielder, number 12,
bringing in run after run. The lead stretches to 6 for Metro South County.
Capuano now giving up 5 runs in this 7th inning. No help from the pen yet, and the night will continue for the Youngstown State starter coming out of the pen now. They'll bring up the righty bat of Aiden Albright, the last one who needs to get on for them to hit around in the 7th. 5 runs already plated. Can they add some more on? Low has a good dig from Gramisty to make sure it doesn't go past. One-0 pitch from Capuano outside and away. Lead down to 6. Here's what's going on in the College World Series. Georgia has 1 out, 2 runners on, tying runner at second in the top of the 9th as they sit down 4-3 against Oklahoma. Cleveland on the mound, Phelps at the plate. 2-0 for Capuano as this one a sawed-off Shot over to the right at second, and he's able to get the final out of this inning. They don't bat around, but everybody does get a chance at the dish. Big Train concede 5 runs in the top half of the 7th inning. Lead now 11-5 for Metro South County, looking to take the top seat once again as the Braves lead by 11-5. It's better weather as we get into the 60s and tail down lower. Kim will come into this one again. Got to the inning last time. Jackson Mirza, tail end of this order, will have the opportunity to try and figure it out. Down 6, somewhere 11-5. The Big Train have seen before, but it was in the 2nd inning. So the Big Train extend their lead. They did not extend their lead. Metro South County did. Braves up 11-5 in this one. 10 hits for them, 4 for these here Big Train. 2 errors on their side, 3 on ours. Both of their errors ended up as runs. Neither of ours did. 2-0 to Mirza. He's 0 for 2 today with a strikeout and a walk. Sword swing at that, 1-0. Ones. Seems like a lot of the score of these World Cup games. Entered a draw a lot. I think every game today has been a draw.
Yes, Iran leveling it currently against New Zealand for the nightcap game tonight.
They just hit halftime. They are at ones, yeah. There is not a game randomly that is technically on Tuesday, as I didn't know the Turkey game was happening on Sunday night because it was at midnight. So it was perfect to watch right after the finals while I was finishing some of my workup. Foul ball makes it 2-2. Elsewhere in sports, Mets are down 12-0 to the Cincinnati Reds. J.J. Blede, just hit his next home run of the season at a 3-run bomb. Full count now to Mirza as he tries to get things started here.
Well, the problem in that last inning for the Big Train was due to a lot of lack of control on the mound from Capuano, not really able to place the ball very well and also hitting quite a few batters there.
Second strikeout looking for Mirza tonight. He will take a slow trot out of the box as it will bring up the top of the order, Will Eck, who will come into this one as the right fielder, replacing in the lineup Julius Bonaris, who left the game after a collision at the plate. Seemed all right, a little ginger as he got up, but just don't want to risk injury to a player and maybe wasn't feeling the best, so they gave him the bench spot for the rest of the night.
I believe also notably there, Mirza, after that strike call, got himself a warning from the umpire. Taking a second to note that in his notebook.
1-0 the count now to Hack, who's got a very good last 3 games on his marker. 3 RBIs in each of them, 9. He's the hottest hitter in the league. Good guy to have up as he rode the bench to start tonight. 3 RBIs on last Sunday against Silver Spring Tacoma, a triple in that. 3 RBIs, scored twice against only 1 for 4 with 3 RBIs. Gaithersburg on Sunday, he had 3 RBIs as well. All brought in on singles for the other two, other than the triple where he got all of them in Silver Spring. 3-0.
Been a good person for the big train recently to have when you do have runners on your bases, but heck, all alone, no one on the pads right now. As he sees his first strike of the at-bat, count is 3-1.
Scored his first career hit against the Lemoyne Dolphins in Central New York. That's in Syracuse. 3-1. Big wave, and count will go full on the 1 out for Hack. He walked him. Watching on that ball for Hack will move his way to first base in replacement of Bonneries, but still doing just as well in that leadoff spot at getting on. Cal Johnson will come up here in need of a big swing from him like we saw early in this season. Down 6.
Big train are going to need a plethora of hitting if they're going to find a way back in this one, as Johnson takes a huge wave at the first pitch from Kim. Johnson, a player definitely capable of creating big plays for Bethesda. We watched him hit an in-the-park home run in an exhibition match here at Shirley Povich.
Yeah, down the left field line against the Yorktown Coconuts, who I wish we could see again. Just such a fun team.
If only for their gradient jerseys. If that is a pickoff attempt at first base that Hack is protesting. First base umpire saying tag hit him in the chest before he was able to get back over there. Things heating up a little bit for the big train as a couple of calls not really going their way.
2 outs, and he can't believe it.
No, really thought that he was securely back on that one.
So after Mirza goes down looking on a call he didn't like and protests a little of the umpire, Hack does the same at first after reaching for the first time tonight after being the pinch hitter. Well, I guess the second baseman. It's defensive substitution. 2-1 as that one misses outside to Cal Johnson, who no longer has a runner on.
Home plate umpire has a word over there for the dugout of the big train.
2-1. This one, I think a chipped bat up the middle as the second baseman's able to play wide receiver. Crease tracks that one down. Big train down 11-5. They're able to get 1 walk, but that's about it. Pickoff attempt at first brings it up 3 and down 3. We'll be back in the top half of the 8th inning as the big train sit down a ton. Welcome back to the Big Train Baseball Network. Replacement for the likes of Capuano will be Zachary Malvasio, who enters this one in place of Capuano, whose day in book ends. 2 innings pitched, 2 hits, 5 earned runs given up. Currently in possession of that, not in possession of that loss. That's Kaler, who gave up 4 before him. 3 walks and a strikeout, the only one of all Big Train pitching today.
Malvasio, the second UCF pitcher that we'll see tonight after Soler started this game earlier tonight. Malvasio has pitched in 1 game so far for the Big Train. 1 strikeout in that and no earned runs. So he looks to stay perfect as we've seen him batting in the lineup a couple times in the last couple of games.
Yeah, he's hit pretty well yesterday as he found his first hit. It was or first 2 hits. It was a single and a double for him. Went 2 for 4 in the night before being replaced by Aaron Rittenauer, who RBI doubled his first time up in his first career game for these Big Train. 2 RBIs for the kid, and Malvasio, one of 2 pairs of doubles on 2 players at that 9-hole spot. But, how you mentioned, he already pitched in this season. Capuano just struggling, unfortunately, as these Big Train now have a deficit that is +5 from his total.
Yeah, and obviously that one is fouled off. First pitch. Obviously, the Big Train need to be careful with how many pitchers they use in a game, electing to leave Capuano in for that whole inning. I mean, they have so many more innings of baseball left this week.
Yeah, I was going to say, they don't have this week and then some. 0-1 after the foul grounder.
As our producer Becca put together a graphic earlier, we'll have 16 straight games here if we do not have another rainout.
Yes. Golly, it is a long time with baseball. Now, away game tomorrow. They take on the D.C. Grays at their place, Catholic University Field, if you're interested in coming. There's a metro stop. I think that serves the university directly, or at least like 5 minutes away at worst. 1-2, turning to 2-2 as that one misses. To number 22. Connor Clock, the one of many lefty batting catchers in this league. Don't know why there's so many. Ground ball up the middle. Machado scoops. He transfers and throw over to Carpenter at first base, who comes in as a defensive sub for Emilio Gonzalez.
And we'll be in D.C. with the team tomorrow night. A lot of buzz in D.C. last night with the UFC fight happening on the White House lawn.
Yeah. There was a flyover last night that I was sitting in my friend's apartment. I have never been under a flyover that I wasn't at the game for. I don't live in a place where planes would be flying over it because there's no professional stadiums. It scared me so bad. I was like, what is going on? Because, gosh, that was odd. Misses low. And now a 2-0 count for the likes of Malvasio. Malvasio, yes.
Been a big buzz of the sport world recently and enjoying taking part of it as summer collegiate ball is in full swing here. That ball did find the zone for Malvasio and count moves to 2-1.
Batter for South County lays off. It's been a good day today for Swakowski. Made some good plays in the outfield today already and right, but at the plate he's found himself a cool 2 for 3, where he flew out one time but has an RBI single and a walk where he ended up scoring in that 7th inning that blew this one wide open. Swakowski, Atlantic East first team all-conference in 2026. Prior to that, all-academic 24 and 25. As a student athlete, student first. Shout out.
And it's big emphasis on college coaches when they're doing their recruiting from high school. I mean, it's a question that every recruiter asks the high school coaches, how are their grades?
Ground ball, it's towards Machado. We'll have another chance at a putout. Makes a good throw and an even better dig at first from Carpenter. That's the second out of the inning.
Malvasio with 2 outs here. looking to continue his streak of 0 earned runs. A good way to do that is to stop players from getting on base.
Yeah. It's good. It's a good way to put that, I would say.
Thank you.
It's all about trying to find a way to get ahead first and making sure these guys don't get on for free. It's been a problem tonight. A lot of walks administered by the staff. Grand total of 9, not even counting the 2 hit by pitches, as 1-1, a strike. He'll watch it in the box. It's the the tail end hitter in his first at bat. Aiden Zovac, who came in for Caden Beam, the freshman from Shenandoah. He's going to go into his freshman year in the fall. He got pelted by a missile fastball. 2-1 inside, now 3-1.
One of several players on both sides of the ball that were hit by pitches tonight.
Zovac watching this one go. Ball 4. He's out of Fredericksburg, Virginia. 5'10", 170, a Riverbend High School graduate. He goes to Florida Southern, the Mocs there, and pretty much redshirted last year. Saw a few ABs for the Mocs developmental team, which is one of those teams that you still redshirt, but you're playing pretty much JUCO teams in the area and teams that are maybe even intramural at some points and other development teams in that general place. Christopher Crease brought up the leadoff man for these. Good throw from the ump on the throwback as they give Gramesty a second. But pretty good leadoff hitter. Is yet to go hitless in any game he's played in this season. Has hitless tonight. 0 for 3, 2 walks, scored on both. Spark plug of the offense as 0-1 the count now. Zovac on first. To Crease.
Obviously a nice streak from him there to have as the pitch comes in is a little low for a ball there. It's the count of 1-1, but I don't think that's something he's too worried about, a hit streak, because he knows that he was effective tonight with getting on, being patient in the box, getting his walks, and able to score on them as well. So contributing in the way he knows he can for this team.
This one in the air, a well-hit ball that Mirza will come under and has the third out of the inning. We will be back in this bottom half of the 8th. Big Train still down 6, trying to claw their way back against the Braves, who lead this one tonight. The second baseman, Brennan Wright, will come in and started this night in left field. He moved over as Monteris out with a groin injury on the slide to home. First pitch missing outside. Need a big inning here to try and get back into this one. 6 runs to tally back to try and get a tie here, and 6 runs, or 6 outs remaining, excuse me. 2-0 count to right. Pretty leadoff-like pull lefty, but he hits this one oppo. Fly ball off his bat. Difficult read for the left fielder Zovac, who's an infielder traditionally. He's able to get it. A fly out to start things here as Logan Panett will come in now 0 for 3 on the night.
Yeah, last couple innings for Panett. Just struggling to get going from the batter's box.
First pitch missing outside from in their outside portion of the plate for Kim. Elsewhere in the Cal Ripken Senior League, it's been smooth sailing for some squads as the 0-1 is hit pop, fly foul. Panett out as the third baseman, or first baseman, is able to get there in time. Silver Spring Tacoma gets their first double-digit win of the season. How about that? 1-7, now 2-7. 20-0 win over the Aces, who are pretty much regarded as the second-best team in this league. A lot of parity if you're looking at that as actually mattering in any way, sort or form. They were the number 1 in the power rankings on the Cal Ripken Senior League website this morning, and they just lost 20-0 to the team they had at the bottom.
Well, and you can see there, I mean, Big Train have been very successful against the Thunderbolts so far this season. And Ace is one of the top teams in the county, so like you said, never know who is going to pull out victorious in a game in the Cal Ripken Senior League this season.
Yeah, interleague play everywhere as DC playing Gaithersburg. They fall 13-1 in 7 innings on the 12-run after 7 rule. So 2 blowouts, or 2 mercy rule wins tonight, as 2-1 now the count to Carpenter, making his first at-bat tonight. Replacement of Gonzalez. Plays everywhere in the infield. There's a utility infielder out of the University of North Carolina, Wilmington. He's a Seahawk there. Carpenter, 6 games this season, hitless, but a 500 OBP. The man walks. Hard ground ball towards the shortstop. Kind of eats up the likes of Vasquez, gets into the outfield, and an error will be what reaches. And he is still hitless and still on base. So continuing a streak of his, as with Fowler outs remaining in this game, Machado will come to the plate, trying to just get anywhere close, anywhere back close.
Well, and it doesn't matter sometimes how you do it, but if you get on base, you're on base, and it's the only way for the Big Train to find a way back into this one is to continue to get people on base. As Machado steps up, looking to continue the momentum.
Machado, that one misses outside. A infielder out of Pembroke Pines, Florida. 1-0 now as he watches that one go. Teammates with Justin LeBron, highly touted Alabama shortstop in high school. Ground ball right side. Going to be maybe an opportunity to get out of this one, and they do. Machado down on the 4-3 as lead still 11-5. Big Train can't collect any. We're on the Big Train Baseball Network. Braves lead 11-5. Hello and welcome back to the Big Train Baseball Network. Malvasio will go on the mound longer, and Nadav Mocklin will come to the plate. Mentioned earlier he was an infielder for Team Israel. I looked through some stats per Baseball Reference. 2021 U18 championships and 2022 as well. 2023 he made the senior roster for Team Israel, so helped them qualify through the European Championship for the WBC. Debuted in their opening 14-1 win over Switzerland in that conference championship, replacing former major leaguer Ty Kelly at third. Flew out against Marco Lombarcher, another major leaguer, and his only plate appearance in 2023. Also had an assist in the infield. Love Baseball Reference, always have so much stuff. In 2004, he's 22, entering his freshman year, at Paris Community College. (1-0) now from Malvasio on the mound. Gone through a Big Train pitching staff that has done very well tonight, or prior to tonight. Saw Sams yesterday, who pitched a gem through 4 innings, only allowed 1 walk. Not quite the same night tonight. Missed inside to Mocklin. Elsewhere in sports, Pete Crow Armstrong had himself a natural reverse cycle tonight. Single was last. It's pretty big there. PCA, one of the stars on that Cubs team that is finally, I think, getting things back into gear after one of the worst May-June periods in baseball history. They're in their second series against the Rockies right now in 2 weeks, or in 1 week actually, as 5-pitch walk to Mocklin. He'll make his way over to first base. It's his 4th walk in a row and 4th walk tonight. Top 9, last chance to add on as Colin Lott will come to the dish. Just committed to Western Michigan in the MAC.
Well, and if the Big Train want any chance at making a stab at this in the bottom, they're going to have to put runners down quickly and effectively and not let any more pass for the Braves.
This one foul. With a loss yesterday, the White Sox, or with a win yesterday, the White Sox 4-1 in the season. This one goes into the right field, a mashed liner from the bat of Lott. Runner will go to third. Mocklin trying to race there. He'll get there before the throw as it's cut off. Good piece of hitting, and Lott's second single of the night. 2 for 6 now as the runner at third. Mocklin puts a dangerous corner spot. I don't see much action in the bullpen. Let Malvasio get out of this. As I was saying, White Sox won against the Dodgers 4-1 in the home stretch series. Gotta imagine, though, they're one of the biggest surprises in baseball. Something else that's been a very big surprise to me, I don't think enough people are talking about, is just how the Rays have changed the game of baseball again with small ball. They're currently second in the entire AL, and second in the division is the Yankees, who have finally found their starting rotation again for their injury is there. You just don't see a lot of it, and they have returned small ball as they are up 2-0 in the first to the Dodgers. That was off of some interesting play from Vilade, who is not a power hitter, who hit a 422-foot home run in Chavez Ravine. As that one misses, counts ones.
Yeah, you mentioned about the Rays. Sometimes be reminiscent a little bit of what we see here in summer ball with lots of stolen base attempts and people just getting around the bags and forcing pitchers into difficult situations. As that one is hit big in the right field, but under the glove there for another out.
Play at the plate. Gramesty can't get it. It actually nails Mocklin in the face off the bounce. Some chin music all the way from right field. Ow, got a feel for him.
Does score another run from the Braves as throw in from right field, not able to get to the plate in time for Gramesty to make the out there.
Looks like he might have lost a tooth based on the marker by the first base coach, who was signaling what tooth it was, I think. He pointed at one, then the other. So Mocklin scores at a cost. 12-5 now the lead for the Braves as Kelly was looking to add on to his total of 3 hits tonight there. Big wave at a fastball that wasn't close. RBI for Vasquez, who got himself a nice piece, or a nice sac fly there. Second of the night.
When you have runners in scoring position, your job is to step up to the plate and make contact, and he did that well, and it took deep into right that allowed enough space for the runner to come through.
0-1. Turning to ones. This one line in the air to left. It's going to get down just in front of Foscola, who will make a throw to third. Runner will advance anyway, as Lott quite aware to what was going on.
Fielder number 12, Aiden Albright.
Good single from Kelly, his fourth hit of the night. 2 RBIs already. Brings up Aiden Albright, who's 0 for 5.
Well, after a good first inning from Malvasio, batters seeming to figure him out just a little bit more here and able to make contact in the right spots. Runners in the corners now.
It's a dribbler connected on the glove by Johnson. Throw wayward again, his second throwing error of the night, and it is an in-play error. So runners will automatically go one. If it goes out, they automatically just go one anyway. Staying at first is Albright, who reaches on said throwing error, and scoring is Lott.
22, Connor Klopp.
And kind of uncharacteristic once again there from Cal Johnson, missing that throw at first, and runner scoring at home easily on no contest.
Yeah, no, not really playing much outside of the DH spot this season in Central Florida. Actually, an .880 fielding percentage there.
Pitch hitting for the Braves, number 28, Dean Reynolds.
Dean Reynolds will pinch hit for these here Metro South County Braves. Reynolds, a Shenandoah University product, one of a few here. Fairfax, Virginia native, takes a hack at the first one. Redshirted last season, but this will be his 4th game. Got 1 hit and 6 at-bats. Struck out half of those. Oh, goodness. Catches the head of Reynolds on the hit by pitch. And we will go to break here on the Big Train Baseball Network. Reynolds stays in this one after getting a rattling off his helmet.
Right fielder number 19.
It'll advance Albright to second, and third, Kelly will stay. They'll take the open bag as 13-5 still our score. Runners at the corners move to runners everywhere.
Big Train trainer did go over and check on him to make sure that he was all right after taking quite the hit there.
Swakowski enters, and there's already been 2 runs in the top of the 9th. He's got himself a 2 for 4 day with an RBI. Outside. Counts now ones for Malvasio. Big credit to Reynolds, who is on first after taking that pitch to the head. So, you know what? A lot of toughness in this lineup of Metro South County, and that you can't take away from them. Great night tonight at the plate. They've been patient. They've hit it well, and they have been very, very good when they've needed to be with runners in scoring position. So, base is still loaded for Swakowski, who Now on the 3-1, will watch it high and earn an RBI walk. Score now 14-5 as this one technically will have ended no matter what after the 9th inning in the blowout territory, but or mercy territory, excuse me. Aiden Zovak, number 8, will come to the dish after the RBI walk. Kelly scored, ground ball right side, fielded by Carpenter. He'll make his way to first. Can only get one, and the runner will score. Zovak has his first RBI of the night on a ground out.
Yeah, you mentioned, the Braves did what they needed to do. Not a close game, obviously, not division.
Well, yeah.
Game, and so they. Sorry, not a close game in
I know you meant location, which
proximity
is
to location is
yeah.
what I meant on that one. So they had to travel a long way, and I think decided to make it worth it. They're going to travel all this way, and they've been really effective tonight in what they have done, both with their pitching and hitting.
Score the most runs on Bethesda than anyone has. That came off the pitcher's Capuano, who inherited a tough outing from Kaler. Capuano followed Kaler, who followed Soler, actually had a pretty good night. He left in possession of a no decision, and Kaler with the loss when tonight will likely all be said and done. They've hit well in scoring position as well. Has all gotten plenty of opportunities. Big Train have had 13 at-bats with runners in scoring, and they have had 14. They're 5 for 14. We were 1 for 13. They have had 26 with runners on. They haven't really needed them to be in scoring position to score. 1-2, the count to leadoff man, Crease. He gets on. They'll bat around. 1-2 from Malvasio. Struck him out. A slider swinging, and he escapes the inning with only 4 knocked against him. 15-5, Braves lead. Be right back in the bottom of the 9th as a 10-run inning will be what they have to do to keep this one going. Welcome back to the Big Train Baseball Network. Big Train down a few. It's 10. Dean Reynolds will come into the game behind the dish, but on the mound, it'll be the likes of the Plank. Zachary Plank will enter tonight in his 3rd appearance.
Zachary's pitching in both sides of the 9th inning, and to Zachary in the booth tonight. Zachary Plank, the South County Brave, originally out of Annandale, Virginia, plays at Susquehanna. Has played in 2 games so far for the Metro South County Braves. 3 earned runs in those games, 4 strikeouts in 3.2 innings pitched. So hoping he would like to come in and have a solid closing performance that will hopefully lower his ERA.
10 runs, just a little bit outside that save zone, but for Zachary Plank, it's important. 3.2 innings pitched, already you mentioned, hasn't had the nights that he's wanted to with a 2.18 whip. Gramasty will come up. He'll walk up to Sabrina Carpenter's Espresso. 2 seasons with the Susquehanna Hawks, who are a D3 football powerhouse. Have reached the top 6, I believe, or top 8 of the division in football very often. Did the same this year.
D3 playoffs, a bit different, as all leagues other than the top level in FBS actually have a 26-team playoff. Or I believe 24-team, excuse me. 1-0. They don't play conference championships, which I'm curious because you're a football guy.
Yeah.
And would you rather have it be like that, where it is no conference championship games, but you instead play a 24-team playoff format? It's pretty standard. Conference championships are a new thing relatively in football.
Yeah. As
Games.
attending a college that played and lost in a college conference championship, and that kind of being the reason that they were not able to make it into the other college playoffs, I think I tend to say yes, in terms of maybe allows for more teams who deserve it but lose the championship to make it in. I think you have to probably expand from 12 teams if you do that, but I don't think it's a bad look, as that one is outside for the catcher, TJ Gramercy, who's at the dish, and he walks over to first base again tonight.
All this guy does is walk. Now a streak of 4 games for him where he's walked 3 times or more. 4 yesterday. Or no, 4 on Saturday. 3 yesterday. 3 today.
I think he's just grateful when it's not one where he gets plunked by a pitch like it was yesterday.
Foscolo mashes one into right, and it's 2 early base runners against Plank, and the road to 15 begins now if you're the Big Train as they try and do it.
2 up and 2 on for the Big Train.
Mirza replaced here by Aaron Rittenauer. It'll be the Eastern Tennessee State commit freshman with his brother, a pitcher here, as an elbow injury. Hasn't seen him yet, Aiden. He is number 12 on this roster. They almost switched numbers because they wanted the other one's number, but they decided to just keep it as is. So Rittenauer will come in center field as well if this other goes to the defensive side. Step off, and runners at first and second for the young man who had his first hit last night. It was an RBI, 2 RBI double. Broken bat as this one goes forward, catches the catcher as it eats up the second baseman too, and he falls over there. Crease unable to come up with it, and bases loaded on an error and an exploding bat.
Comedy of errors there, as we see a broken bat and a bobbled fielding play, and with a player on his backside, as bases are now loaded for the Big Train. I mean, 10 runs is a big ask for a team, but the only way to come back is to put runners on, and that's exactly what they've done here. Bases loaded.
Get your rally mantis, your rally cap. And unfortunate for Crease there, who's trying to make a throw on his back foot, and grass just kind of slips out from under him. He promptly falls on his butt.
It's getting late here, and the dew might be starting here at Shirley Povich. That one is in for strike 1.
0-1 to Hack, who replaced Bonneries earlier today after a groin injury. Rittenauer reaches on an error. Trying to break this one into contention as Hack is fouled back. Has the opportunity to get another game with 3 RBIs here if he can do something big. Tripled a week ago in a dollar change with against Silver Spring at a 27-13 win. Had technically the winning triple. They were down in that game at one point. 0-2. Fantastic breaking pitch from Plank, and Hack in the box. Not hacking, he's actually left looking like a wood Plank. Standing in.
Number 9, Cal Johnson.
It's a good breaking ball. I don't fault him at all for not swinging.
No, and Hack walking very slowly back to the dugout, frustrated after that one. Maybe knowing that he should have swung at it. A little frustrated with himself there.
Yeah, I don't know if he's too mad at the umpire at all. It's a great pitch. Outside fastball to Cal Johnson. Pretty cleared out here at Shirley Povich Field as it's 10:30. Time to back up and go for some peeps. 1-0. Breaking ball low, and now a 2-0 count to Johnson. Big Trainer down 10. Johnson serves as run number 9, wearing number 9, if he could get all the way around. It's a soft ground ball right side. It's fair, and
he is out at the bag, and I'm not too positive he touched the bag. We'll see. Take a look at the replay. But he's out at first. Johnson. Is that one started foul? The rare foul ball that rolled fair.
Yeah, it was on the wrong side of the foul line, and actually by the time it got to the base, was fair and hit off that base.
It's an RBI, but yeah, he's able to touch the bag right there as kind of coincidence. He doesn't really realize, and he is quite lucky that the runner's out. So Johnson out on a RBI ground out. It'll add to his season total as it brings up Brennan Wright with 2 gone. Wright thinks about it, says he went. Counts ones. That was Cal Johnson's 7th RBI in the year. Or his 0-2 count, excuse me. Wright pokes this one foul out of play.
First baseman over there for the Braves actually made that out with his non-glove hand. Was just holding the ball in his non-glove hand while standing on the base. Kind of accidentally to make that out against Johnson.
0-2. Caught looking. Wright will be the final out tonight. Winning pitcher will go to their reigning pitcher of the week, Gavin Elliott. Built on a 3-inning day. Good job from their pitching staff to keep the Big Train scoreless for a very long time in this one. Loose loss will go to Terry Kaler. 2 innings pitched, 4 runs given, 3 earned. Big Train pick up tomorrow against the DC Grays. Any last marks, my friend?
That's a tough outing for the Big Train. They'll look to bounce back tomorrow while they're in DC. Just not quite their night, and you can't win every single one of them when you're playing this many a week. But the Big Train, they know they have the skill, the talent. They'll be back at it tomorrow night.
It'll end tonight at 15-6, snapping a 4-game win streak and a 4-game streak of double-digit runs. Will be tomorrow at Catholic University's field against the DC Grays. Tune in at 7 p.m. on the Big Train Baseball Network. I've been Carson Cass alongside Zach Lewis. Thank you very much for tuning in.